Lore dump.
Hello, and welcome to Lore Dump, the show where we take a friend who hasn't...
break their minds.
And break their minds.
Hello! Hey!
It's chaos, as you can tell.
Fuck your openings.
Can't even get through the intro now. We take a friend or a group of friends or we take someone, we put them in a room, and we tell them...
Don't let them leave. Don't let them leave.
I've been here for 2 days.
Steal their weekend and crush their hopes and dreams.
Yeah. We take someone who hasn't played a game or game franchise and we explain the full story to them. Normally, the setup of this is that I will take my friend Chase, who is here. He's the American one. Hi, Chase. Say hello.
The American one.
Well, there's two voices here.
The American one who, as the comments say, hates America.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
And normally it's myself explaining a story to Chase. However, this time we're covering Kingdom Hearts. Chase knows very quickly. We're gathering here pretty much everything there seems to be to know about. It sounds like he knows more about Kingdom Hearts than Nomura, the creator of the games, know. So yeah, that's great. So what we've done is we brought in my friend Neil.
Hello.
Hello. And because he doesn't know anything about Kingdom Hearts, and I know teeny tiny bits about Kingdom Hearts, and as we're very quickly learning, I've forgotten at least 90% of it.
And Neil is grasping it considerably better than you for some reason, despite...
So much better. So yes, we have covered, this is part 6, we have covered Kingdom Hearts 1, Shade of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, 358 over 2 days, and Birth by Sleep.
Don't forget Coded.
Oh yeah, Coded.
We love Coded.
Kingdom Hearts Recoded is somewhere stuck in there. I think it's in the Kingdom Hearts 2 episode, and basically we're just going to jump right into it. What game are we doing now, Chase?
We're doing Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance.
So it was named this way to make people think it was Kingdom Hearts 3 when it wasn't in fact Kingdom Hearts 3.
No. It was named this because it was released on the 3DS, and of course the trope at the time was every single game that was released on the 3DS had 3D in its name for some reason.
Nah, Square Enix know exactly what they're doing. I think it's more cynical than that.
I disagree, because then you get Dream Drop Distance, which is 3Ds.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I think we're finally heading back to Sora's story.
Oh, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. That's what I'm looking here. So 2005, Kingdom Hearts 2 was the last time we've seen Sora. We are now coming up on, if I can find...
It's got to be 2012
too many pages.
Or something, right?
29th of March, 2012, in fact.
My god, I was still in school. Final year of school.
So, just a quick question. Are your brains fried yet?
Yes.
My brain has been fried to the point where I accept so much more now.
I'm going to take the fry. We're going to make them crispy. Welcome to Dream Drop Distance, baby. Sora's back.
Woo! Yeah! Okay, alright, I'm pumped. I'm in. It's literally day 2, hour 18, and I'm ready.
Let's
Got
go.
my beer.
Look at those shoes.
Oh, they're even bigger than before.
Just Riku with a lovely sort of open turtleneck, sort of.
I know.
Very nice.
Also, look how ripped Riku is.
Yeah, he's
Hauling around all that darkness has really fucking made him swole.
Chase, what's that emblem on Riku's back? That looks familiar, and I don't know where from.
It is not an emblem that we're familiar with. It's just a design, to be honest.
Cool, no problem.
Just a nice little design. To briefly recap, where we saw Sora and company at 7 fucking years prior. Following the downfall of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas, Yensid recognized that this would preempt the return of Master Xehanort.
Cool.
And warning Mickey that this would not be like their previous fights, he told him to summon Riku and Sora so that they could, as the Keyblade wielders we saw from Birth by Sleep did many years ago, demonstrate the Mark of Mastery.
Cool.
So of course the game opens in Ansem's lab with not Sora. Look, it's Bragg!
Oh!
He's been recompleted. And the rest of the apprentices who are also recompleted are on the floor. All the organization's back! Nobody's
all of them?
dead!
Including Axel.
They're all back!
Fuck yeah. Wait, Roxas?
No, not wrong.
Oh,
Roxas.
because Sora's still alive.
Yeah,
okay.
Roxas is... Well, I'm technically... He was recompleted since Sora's alive. Technically.
Okay.
We do just have to live under the assumption that...
Can we recap why they're all back?
So, all their nobodies were killed, and to be 100% honest, we just need to live under the assumption that in the hundreds of thousands of Heartless that were killed between Roxas, Xion, Riku, Mickey, Sora, yada yada, they got lucky and killed the corresponding Heartless for each of the organization members.
Sweet.
So do you need to come back like this, you don't need to have a conscious, sentient, super Heartless. You could just have a little skittery boy Heartless. And if you're reunited, you can come back.
Granted, very likely if I were to guess, because this isn't confirmed, but if I were to guess, because they were powerful enough to retain even their form, becoming nobodies, they're probably, the bosses of prior games, very likely. They're probably that level of, like, boss Heartless.
Like a dark side?
Well, a dark side, remember, is...
That's a pure blood.
Could be a dark... Actually, they would be pure blood, so it could be a dark side.
We're missing the most important fact here, which is that Larxine's back.
Fuck off.
Yes.
I know. Although her name wouldn't be Larxine, we gotta get rid of the X. Then it's,
Lauren.
Lauren or something. Bragg's working at the computer, and he angrily demands that Xehanort fill him in. Of course, as we know from the prior game, Bragg is on Xehanort's side.
Right.
Xehanort summons No Name, his keyblade, to which Bragg asks him if that means he remembers now, or maybe that he never lost his memory in the first place. Because remember that Xehanort supposedly didn't remember anything from being Master Xehanort. And Bragg knew, because Bragg was working with him at the time, but when they found him and he became Apprentice Xehanort, following the events of Birth by Sleep, didn't have any memories.
Right.
And that's why, as we learned through the AS reports, he was trying to find his memories through all his hard experiments. Which led to all the shenanigans from the prior games. So the person rushes forward, thrusting the keyblade into Bragg's face, releasing Bragg's heart, and saying that Xehanort isn't his name is Ansem.
Why?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know.
I would have taken it if he said, I'm Terra, because it's like the lingering will pushes forth for a sec.
It's Ansem, baby!
Sure, man. So
And
he was
also...
only ever Ansem when he was pretending to be him, right?
Yeah.
We'll get
Okay.
But also, love how Bragg got to be Bragg again for like 5 minutes, and now it's back to Zigmar.
God damn it.
5 minutes of Bragg time, now he's back to Zigmar.
That's fine.
I hope they all revert back to their old names, because I've now had to remember 2 sets of 13 names, potentially.
For 13 people, yeah.
Okay, so, finally, 12 years later, the scene changes to Riku and Sora. But they're children. And they're on their raft! Oh my god, they finally built their raft! All the way from Kingdom Hearts 1, no way!
What's happening?
Well, they're getting ready to set off on their journey to find new worlds off the island.
Is this another prequel?
They were stuck on the island, man. It was prison, and they needed to find outside worlds. There's no Kairi. Kairi, they ultimately decided that this was a boys-only adventure. And
until this very moment, I've forgotten that Kairi existed for probably about the past, 2 hours.
She was in the last game.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. 2 hours ago, she appeared for 2 seconds of Birth by Sleep.
Are we to assume this is a sort of alternate thing that's happening? Because the storm with the darkness in it hasn't come?
We're to assume that they're on the raft and they're going on an adventure.
Okay.
So they set off on a raft when suddenly a storm comes in, destroying the raft. And then suddenly a whirlpool opens and Ursula appears!
I thought we killed Ursula back in...
Ursula appears saying that he was right and that they're here. Sora asks how this is possible, questioning if this is part of their test. And Riku tells him not to worry about it and that they just need to kick her shit in.
Cool, let's do it.
They beat the shit. One dead Ursula later, she fades away as if she were never there.
Great. Does she turn to Data?
No, she just fades.
Okay.
She just fades away, and the waves rise up, knocking Sora and Riku into the water.
Cool.
They fall into the depths, seeing a keyhole, and in their unconscious state, both keyblades appear, pointing themselves at the keyhole, unlocking it, and seemingly breaking a portal through reality. The glass of reality shatters as they create a portal. They are drawn through the portal. And as they're going in, they look up, and above the water, the hooded figure from Kingdom Hearts 1 repeats the line, "The worlds are now connected."
What, the brown-cloaked guy?
The brown-cloaked guy.
Who is he again? Do we remember?
It's the brown-cloaked guy.
We don't remember who's under the hood by this
He
point.
just
Well, we do. It was and some Seeker of Darkness. That was revealed in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay, is this just like mind shit? They're having an experience,
Maybe.
I guess. Okay.
Fast forward, and Riku and Sora have arrived at Yensid's tower.
Okay, Neil, can you describe what's just appeared on screen, please?
Okay, we've got some sort of plastic model of Yensid with no hat. He looks like
A gnome.
He looks like a gnome. He's not wearing the hat, which makes him look so much worse.
Mickey and Double are also there. Yensid explains that about Xehanort, his motivations, basically gives him the birth by sleep spiel. He repeats the last 4 hours that we just had.
Great. So they are now fully up to speed.
Their brains are also fried.
Great.
He lets them know that they have to be ready for his return, and that in doing so, they're going to be tested as to whether they are true Keyblade masters.
Cool. So they have to do the same test that they did in Birth by Sleep where they fight the orbs of light, right?
So Sora and Riku are somewhat special cases in that they're self-taught Keyblade wielders. You know, the majority of the time, as we know, you'd be passed down the ability to wield Keyblade by an existing master who would then train you to become a master yourself. But they don't have the time to go through any formalized training, so they're rolling that and the test into one. They need to start from a clean slate, throw everything aside that they think they know about the Keyblade to learn it properly. And as such, they accept those conditions, and the test begins.
Okay. What is the test?
It's the test. As I put in my very next bullet point, it would be silly for the game to actually explain what this exam is. So flash forward to Sora, waking up in some sick new drip, nice sweet X on his shirt, and he is for some reason in Traverse Town.
Great.
We're back.
Is that an X or a key?
It's like kinky belts.
Cool, no problem.
Kinky belts.
He's still bearing the increasingly traumatized smile.
No, that is a smile of a man who's killed people and knows it and likes it.
I would also like to note that this is the character model of Sora from Kingdom Hearts 1.
Right.
This is not his aged up one from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right.
He's back to being a kid for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. He's back to being a kid for some reason, man.
Are we about to relive the Disney worlds of Kingdom Hearts 1 for the third time?
Hey, baby! No, we're not. Don't worry.
That's sorry, yeah, that would have been the fourth time. We've already done that 3 times. Yeah.
I put in here and I've highlighted to put a music bit into the PowerPoint here. But I of course didn't. But because we are about to enter the world of my favorite JRPG of all time. So Sora shouts out, but is shut up by the best character from the best JRPG of all time, who for some reason knows Sora.
He's working for Xehanort because he's got wiggle fingers?
No, he's just like, that's just like
That's
weird.
an anime pose.
That's just anime pointed fingers. And
Remember this one from the last... listeners, this is meaningless to you, but this one.
Well, he's kind of doing that. He's
Yeah,
like
we
his.
need the face cam on this.
Yeah, he's giving us like the L to like loser. You're a
He's
loser. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
No, he's a DJ. He's a badass... Who is this? Chase, I don't know who this is.
I've decided to put only their artwork from the original game. Because
Chase, who's
there is
this
art.
person? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but he knows Sora. And he grabs Sora's hand very romantically, and he looks at it before saying that Sora is not a player in the game, as you know, of course. And he's not a.
I know what this is because Chase has tried to make me play this JRPG.
I've tried to make you play this JRPG. You played a bit of it.
I did. I've also played the majority of this
hate
world. This is pretty much where I stopped after that half an hour. I didn't. I think it's
great.
fine. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Anyhow, so he says that Sora is not a player in the game because he doesn't have a timer counting down on his hand. He shows him his own hand and he has like a very kind of like graffiti-esque looking timer that's counting down on his hand.
It's like, what was that Justin Timberlake film? The tattoo that counts down time. That was quite... It didn't get great reviews at the time. Did it? In Time.
About Time?
No, About Time is the... is a different thing.
We don't have time, Chase. What happens?
This is Neku Sakuraba. So Neku says that he can't afford to lose this game and he needs his partner. Obviously, Sora's a good boy, and he's like, I'll be your partner. To which Neku's like, what the fuck? Why would you say that to I'm a stranger. I am a stranger. Why are you offering this, you weirdo? And like Sora tries to push him, but he's like, you're no good. You're not a player. I need a partner who's a player. But of course, Sora's like, well, I'll still hang out with you because we're friends now.
He's just trying to go to work and get a coffee and Sora's sort of
Is it worth you telling Neil the name of the JRPG? That's not a twist,
it's called
is it?
The World Ends With You.
Okay. I feel really awful. I've never heard of that before.
It was a very obscure cult classic one from way back in the DS. It did have a remake on Switch, but the remake on Switch is god-awful.
Oh, this was purely a DS?
It was a DS game, yeah. Way back in the day.
It is. I joke, right? It's legitimately engaging and interesting game that's surprisingly well written.
Yeah.
Like, surprisingly in the sense of, like, someone describes the concept to you and you go, this is going to be shite.
You know what's my favorite thing?
What?
It's written by Nomura.
Oh, no, I'm not saying Nomura's a bad writer. Yeah.
You know, I got an emulator app on my phone recently for the DS, because I've always had a Game Boy Advance one.
It would be really difficult for you to play. It's one of those ones that really requires both the touchscreen and the controller simultaneously. Okay, unfortunately, yeah. It does have a Switch port, which is okay, and it does have a phone port, which is okay, but they're not the same as the original one. Yeah. Anyhow, moving on. So we're moving beyond
Disney Worlds of Final Fantasy now. That's the
we're moving into additional Square properties.
But it is another Nomura Square property.
It's another Square Enix property, and Nomura did write it, which is probably why Nomura dragged it in. So we are expanding potentially into more Square properties. So while they're walking around town, they get attacked by a new type of monster. Every game needs one. These are called the Dream Eaters. Oh, they're adorable.
The Dream Eaters. So we are just not in real world then.
Gotta catch them all, Neil.
Well, we're dreaming about dropping distances, you know? We're Dream Drop Distancing, and these are the Dream Eaters, and they're adorable. These are
That's just a gay Zubat.
It does sound a bit like a euphemism for dropping a hallucinogenic drug, doesn't it? Do you want a dream drop?
I do. I feel like I'm on one.
They're adorable. So they defeat the Dream Eaters that attack, and Neku teaches Sora that he can actually capture and control the Dream Eaters like they're Pokemon.
Is it an actual Pokemon style mechanic?
No, it's not turn-based.
It's like a battle summon.
Now that we've met the Dream Eaters, we flash forward for more Yensid exposition. Oh. So, Yensid, we're not going to flash forward, and Yensid's going to finally give us some details on what this whole test schmizzness is. So he explains that if they're going to defeat Xehanort, they need to lead certain people out of slumber and sorrow and back into our world, which, of course, would be the Wayfinder trio from Birth by Sleep. So, if we want to defeat Xehanort, we need them. They were able to kind of semi-vaguely almost do it way back in the day, so we need their power. Or more specifically, we need more fucking Keyblade wielders.
Yes, let's make some.
Yeah, I mean, he doth the title of master, and you think that Mickey and Riku are going
to why does he want to create more Keyblade wielders? Just to fight?
To fight Xehanort.
Okay. Seems like last time there was a big war of Keyblade wielders that was bad for everyone.
Well, I mean,
good point.
He only wants like 3 more. That's like a whole war. He's just like, get these old ones. They're old pals. I can trust them. They're old goodies.
Quite excited about meeting some people.
Who are we going to get?
Ventus, Aqua, and Terra.
Oh, the original trio.
The original trio.
Oh, that's sick. Okay,
yeah, the Wayfinder trio.
Cool.
This series is built around our 3 trios, those being, of course, the Destiny Island trio, the Wayfinder trio, and the Twilight Town trio. Cool.
Well, I mean, you get Terra alone and you're fucking sorted. He kicked Xehanort's ass, like, single-handedly.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's true. Well, that was an old and decrepit. That wasn't him at his full power.
Sure, yeah.
So, anyhow, he's now been, like, resting whilst being split in half for a while. You know, he's back. He's had a good nap.
We all need to rest after being split in half.
I feel like I'll be split in half.
So, anyhow, to do this, there are 7 sleeping keyholes that must be found and unlocked, and a great power gained in doing so.
Right.
He explains that these sleeping worlds are barriered off in a way different to the past. And he also explains that these are the worlds from Kingdom Hearts 1 that fell into darkness.
Okay.
So when all the stars were going out in Kingdom Hearts 1...
Destiny Island was one of them.
Well, no. So this is all the worlds that were going... When they were all going out, we visited a number of them before they went out. These are the ones that went out, but when we defeated Ansem, they didn't fully come back. Cool. So there's a few that are still kind of sleeping between the realms of like darkness and light. And we need to basically go up, wake up their hearts, and bring them back to the realm of light.
That's where, like, Marvel 616 is and Tatooine is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he notes how not even the Heartless are actually able to enter these worlds. They're fully sealed off.
Oh, so they're not just sealed off because they're overrun with darkness. They are just sealed off
No,
from everyone.
they're not in the realm of darkness, but they're not in the realm of light. They're in their own...
The Twilight Realm.
No, this is where we need to introduce our fourth realm, the sleeping or unchained realm.
Dream World.
Essentially.
Okay.
Essentially Dream World. This is a separate realm that exists outside. So if we have like the Venn diagram of light and dark where there's twilight in the middle, this is wholly off the diagram. This is a separate bubble. It's not touching.
Next.
I sent you guys an image of all the realms a few days ago before we started recording. This is
I didn't look at that for spoilers.
Yeah.
So I wish I had.
I sent it because you wouldn't have understood what it was even if you were... Look, I didn't understand the full image and I know fucking everything. Anyhow. So not even the Heartless are able to break into these worlds. Instead, they have their own monsters, the Dream Eaters. Now, these are divided into two types of Dream Eaters. Nightmares, which devour happy dreams, and spirits, which consume the nightmares.
Cool. Is it just like light and dark, where like nightmares are apparently good, when actually we've seen no evidence to say that they are?
No, they're goodies and baddies.
Nightmares bad, yeah?
Nightmares bad. Nightmares bad, spirits good.
Cool.
So the Dream Eaters, he tells them, are going to guide them, as the Heartless once did, to the hearts of each world. Minor, Yensid, Lord Dumpover. Back in Twilight Town, Neku brings Sora, and he's walking him over, and then he's like, he calls out, I brought Sora, as a fucking Roby appears again. These things are fucking everywhere.
Why is he in a sleeping world?
There's a new Roby. He's saying how he brought them Sora, and that they had a bargain. Neku, you dick. Although this is wholly not out of character for Neku. This is shockingly in character for Neku, so, oh well.
Fuck Neku, feed him
Who's
to the
Neku?
darkness. Neku's the guy from World Ends with Sleeping World.
We're helping him out. He's like, you're not a player.
Yeah,
So which is not
Yeah,
the same
Orange
as...
Chair make point his hand.
To clarify, The World Ends With You is a franchise. It is not the same as The End of the World, nor The World That Never Was. Just to be clear.
I didn't even think that would need to be. That's fair. That's fair. Anyhow, the person goes to attack Sora, but Neku jumps up, to be fair, in defense of Sora, saying that the guy said that he wasn't going to hurt Sora, he just wanted him. Sora tries to stop Neku, but for some reason suddenly becomes incredibly sleepy and falls to the ground unconscious.
Great.
So he closes his eyes, and when they wake up, we're Riku!
Hey, what, are we playing as Riku?
We're playing as Riku!
Oh!
It's another play as both of them game, which also means that I'm combining their playthroughs.
Oh.
Very good.
The sword is looking. We've finally got a really clear image of Riku, listeners, with a sort of white background, and the sword is held up.
It's his keyblade.
It's keyblade. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. It's looking very good. So now we've got the sort of angel wings as well as the bat eye wings. It's looking excellent.
I would like to tell you that you know how he had this whole thing with Diz way back in Chain of Memories where Diz was like, are you going to walk the path of light or darkness? And he's like, I'm not going to walk the path to twilight. I'm going to walk the path to dawn.
Yeah.
His keyblade is called the Way to the Dawn.
Oh, nice.
Cute. Well, that makes sense, right? You got your light feathery wing, and then you got your dark bat wing.
So
and it's
Yeah.
like
I would wear the fuck out of the boots that he's got on. Those
Yeah, he's actually got straight up drip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riku continues to be
It's
the
so
BAMF.
great having an American here for a million, because you're a friend and we love you, but also because we can't say words like drip. It just doesn't come out
Nah.
right.
He's
But
a drip.
He's got. That means something else.
Yeah.
So Riku has just also awakened in Twilight Town. He notes how the last thing he remembers was falling overboard after Ursula attacked the people. Remember, they fell unconscious.
As a child.
Yeah, as a child. Well, no, he's still a child here. This isn't his aged up form. He's still a child.
Cool.
So he remembers beating Ursula, opening a keyhole. And because of that, he reasons that this is a sleeping world. So he notes how the keyblade popped into his hand when he needed it the most. It seems that he's been having somewhat of an issue with his keyblade. He can wield it, but because he's fucking still in his struggle of light versus darkness, and whether he's still a denizen of the dark or the light, he seems to be having a tad bit of trouble accepting whether he's worthy to be a keyblade wielder, essentially.
Cool.
Above him, a voice asks him where his portal is, saying how it takes somebody really special to be able to jump between grounds without one. On the arch is a sassy little shit named Joshua. I love Joshy Boy.
Is he from World Ends With You too?
He's also from The World Ends With You.
Okay.
So Joshua explains that the portals are like gateways between worlds, following that there are 2 copies of Traverse Town. It's been split in half. The portals let you cross between these 2 paths. So there's like 2 dimensions layered on top of Traverse Town, and you can switch between them with a portal. Joshy Boy tells Riku that he has an errand for him, and Riku's like,
fuck off.
Literally, he's like, the fuck no. No.
I've got shit to do, man. This god's about to kill everyone.
Of course, Joshy Boy, being the little sassy shit he is, just fully ignores me. And he's like, I'm looking for a girl named Rhyme. She's the key to the portal. Oh, by the way, on the other side of the portal, who knows what you'll find? Maybe there's even a Sora over there. Maybe. And Riku, who's been walking away, he hears a Sora and he goes, Sora.
Does Sora respond?
No, like he just heard Sora's name, man.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, my best buddy.
Are Donald and Goofy not in this game?
No. And it's great. It's fantastic.
Can you explain why I don't like it?
It's Sora and Riku, and that's it.
Where's Donald?
They're chilling in Yensid's tower, man.
Oh, okay.
He's still recovering from learning that the Keyblade graveyard has been locked off from him.
He can't have his keys. Hearing that Sora might be on the other side of the portal, Riku agrees that he will help Joshua. And they wander around town. They also encounter Dream Eaters, which, for some reason, bizarrely, don't seem to be attacking Joshua. They're only attacking Riku.
Cool.
And Riku's like, fuck. Now, Joshua explains that they only go after dreamers, which is funny because he has plenty of dreams. He explains that every human is a dreamer and teaches Riku how to manifest his dreams into Dream Eaters.
Sure.
When they do specifically a Dream Eater spirit.
Pokemon.
Into Pokemon.
Cool.
As he's kind of explaining, a new brash boy appears. This is Beat.
Beat.
It's Beat.
I don't care. Can we get past the JRPG marketing?
Nope. And Beat's here to fight Joshua so that him and Rhyme can get back to where they belong. Beat and Rhyme. They want to get back where they belong. Now, Josh tells Beat that he's been tricked by the guy.
This has the sort of cultural musical nous of Parappa the Rapper, which did it way better. You
don't understand. This game is renowned for its music. Anyhow, I'm not going to mark this game. So, Beat ain't hearing any of that, though, and he summons Dream Eaters to attack Joshua, but obviously they attack Riku instead because they don't attack Joshua. They only attack Riku, which is very convenient, so we can have a fight. So you beat them, and Beat just kind of gives up. And he's like, I just want to protect the ones who matter. And for some reason, hearing this, Riku is also stricken by sleep and falls unconscious. Back in Yensid's tower, he's explaining to them about the Keyblade and its man-made replicas, the normal Keyblades, as well as the Keyblade War. And he explains that the Keyblade did not survive the war, the original Keyblade War, and that it shattered into 20 pieces.
Yes.
7 of light and 13 of darkness.
13 again?
13 organization members, 7 princesses of heart, right?
Clever man.
So there's 7 pieces of light and 13 of darkness that comprise the Keyblade.
Well, numbers are so important. Like,
Yeah,
13 and 7, yeah.
Lucky that there were 12 and 14 committee members at one point, but presumably it's around 13 now. Yeah. No, it's around 13.
As for Kingdom Hearts itself, well, it was lost to the darkness, never to be seen again. And as long as it remains there, darkness is going to forever exist in this world.
Right.
So, enough him. Sora awakens in Twilight Town to find Neku and Roby gone. He wanders on and finds a new Coliseum where another new girl who doesn't have any memories other than that her name is Rhyme. Oh, there's Rhyme. So Sora, of course, being the trusting little good boy he is, thinks that Neku can jog her memory and they go looking for him even though he just sold him fucking out to a Roby. So they go find Neku. Neku's like, bitch, why do you fucking trust me? I tricked you. And Sora's like, well, obviously I trust you, you silly. We're friends. Ha 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 ha.
I love Sora. Fucking idiot.
I'm getting quite endeared to serial killer Sora here. Yeah.
It makes it so much more sinister with the
Oh,
last
100%.
silly Billy. Of course I'm gonna kill you and your family.
Neku goes on to tell Sora that the guy in the black coat told him that he could send him and his partner home if he brought him Sora. Of course, as he introduces Rhyme to Neku, Rhyme blips out of existence and Roby appears, summoning our first boss. You beat it, it shatters. You beat the bosses and they kind of shatters, raining dreams down across the world. Cute. As it does, Sora sees ghostly visions of Riku and another girl with a pig cat doll thing. Sora runs off. The girl runs off and Sora runs to meet Riku, but is stopped by Joshua suddenly appearing from a glowing spiky orb. Neku recognizes Joshua and Rhyme appears next to Josh through his orb portal.
Chase, I have a very serious question for you right now.
What the fuck is happening?
Do any of the World Ends With You characters appear after we leave Traverse Town?
Yes. Anyhow, Josh explains that Rhyme doesn't have any memory. See, unfortunately, this one is like our weird exposition tutorial world. After this, the Disney worlds are fucking shit. Josh explains that Rhyme doesn't have any memories because he's currently holding onto them for her. They're his portal. He goes on to say that Traverse Town only appears when somebody's in need of shelter, and currently it's made up of his dreams. So obviously, Josh knows that Sora and Riku because he dreamed them up. Sora and Riku are just Joshua's dreams. Duh.
Is that are we to take that?
Yeah.
Or, don't fuck with us here. Like, is that the reason why they've appeared in this world?
Yes.
Okay.
We're in a dream.
That's fine. It's just so I know. That's the establishment of our knowledge then.
Yes.
They are being dreamed into world.
We are in a sleeping Traverse Town created via Joshua's dreams.
Right.
So
when they go to, I don't know, bloody Agrabah, right? It's because Aladdin dreamed them in, for example.
We'll get to that. This is somewhat of a unique one. In that Traverse Town itself is kind of a weird, it blips in and out of existence.
Like an in-between world.
Yeah, it's like it blips in and out of existence when it's needed, kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
So this is a bit of a unique one. I'll get to the other ones in a minute.
Okay.
So Josh goes on to tell Sora about where Riku is, that being the other Traverse Town. But that Sora can't get to the portal as it only opens to Rhyme's dreams. So obviously only Rhyme and Josh, who controls the dreams, can get through. He also says that the world is split in two because the robed guy, who we then see remove his hood over on a corner to reveal young Xehanort, who I would really like to note is not Terranort. This is young Xehanort from the beach.
How young we talking?
Like Destiny Island
just
age,
before he left.
What, 15?
17 maybe. It's young Xehanort, man.
Right. What a shock. Okay.
We see a flash of Sora sleeping and Riku wakes up. Similarly to with Sora, everyone is gone, but he sees a girl. It's the girl who was with him before with the pig cat doll. This is Shiki. They reach the place where Sora was in his world, from where they see the same events play out. Shiki runs off. Riku meets with young Xehanort at the stairs, where young Xehanort asks how Riku got there, following that this wakeless sleep will be Riku's prison. Luckily, Beat shows up with Shiki in time, explaining that similarly to Neku, blah blah blah, young Xehanort promised to send them back if they give him Riku. Young Xehanort summons the boss, runs away through a corridor, beat the boss, dreams rain down, and on Riku's side of Twilight Town, then he sees ghostly Sora. Spinning character models, everybody except Josh, Sora, and Riku disappear. Josh explains that in their world, something happened that brought their existence to an end. To keep them from fading, I'm trying to go through this one as fast as possible.
It's okay. You're doing great.
To keep them from fading, he gathered the last remainders of their dreams and brought them to Twilight Town. Okay. He thought that he could make them whole here, but he was shocked to learn that their dreams took bodily form. And by linking their dreams together, maybe he could start to make them exist again.
You said Twilight Town, just want to triple check.
Oh, excuse me, I meant Traverse Town.
That's right, yeah, because I was about to say they linked.
Sorry.
I've been abbreviating them as TT.
That last sentence was exactly what? By linking
their dreams together, maybe he could make his friends exist that had perished in their prior world.
Okay, cool. Got you.
So these people are all been dead and he's trying to bring them back.
Well, he scooped up like the last remainders of their dreams when they perished.
Okay.
So, they both ask who Joshua is, but only get the explanation that he is a friend as angel wings sprout from his back and he flies away.
Why?
By Joshua. He's the angel Joshua.
Is that a World Ends With You thing, or is that...
That actually spoils the end of The World Ends With You, but oh well.
Shit,
yeah,
right.
Joshua is... Minor side tangent, Joshua is kind of a pseudo-god in The World Ends With You. Who decides who gets to come back from the dead, and who
stays dead.
And who stays dead.
If Joshua doesn't come back in Dream Drop Distance and brings back somebody from the dead, I'm talking a real character, not JRPG characters from another game, I will be very disappointed if he does not do that after establishing this information in this game. Otherwise, this has been a waste of 20 minutes. I don't mean that on you. I mean Nomura. It's been a waste of 20 minutes.
A keyhole appears because we love our good keyholes. We're back to unlocking.
Can I just say, I'm only on day 2 of knowing about this franchise. I fucking love it when we see these two together. For context, we've just had an image of Sora and Riku together. Riku is a ghostly image with, I've just noticed the heart symbol on his crotch.
Yeah, that's weird.
No. That is that's the keychain off of his keyblade.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
okay, it's a slightly pixelated.
Yeah.
And Sora standing, and they're both firing energy from their keyblades, presumably. But yeah, I do love seeing these two get together.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
Yeah. So they unlock the keyhole that has appeared, shattering again another portal through reality. And on to the next world.
Cool. So they're not, because of the dream logic, basically, they are existing in different... I haven't seen what the image is. Is that you laughing at the image or laughing at me? The image. Okay. I missed it. I'll look at it in a minute. They are on the same world, but different dream planes, in a sense. So it's like they're two ships missing each other in the night. Is that almost the idea?
It would seem.
Okay.
That's to be our understanding at this point.
Cool. No problem.
So... Back in Yensid Tower.
Is that what you were laughing at? That's amazing. No, Neil, describe.
So it's obviously the armor that we've been introduced to in the last game, that kind of type of armor, but with Yensid wearing it. But as a result, it just looks like Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh, but with Yensid's grumpy fucking face on it.
I actually think it's a recolored version of Terra's armor.
Okay.
Right, so this is like Photoshop. This isn't a real...
This is Photoshop.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
I got really tired of the fact that we keep coming back to Yensid, and I didn't want to take any screenshots, so I just found a bunch of pictures of Yensid.
I love it. Yeah. Amazing.
And
He does look like a garden gnome, doesn't he?
Yes.
Oh, so back in
If only Walt Disney could have seen this. I love knowing how much he would have hated this. And then someone would have leaned in and gone, "Do you know this guy was based on you?" What?
I think he would have had Nomura killed. Like, I straight up think they would have hired someone. Yeah. Fuck.
Oh my god. So back in Yensid's tower, he's explaining that dreams are connected to each other. So they'll be able to get between the sleeping worlds fairly easily. But what's hard is, of course, we know that the sleeping realm is separate. So what they need is an entry point that will let them break out of the world of light and into the realm of sleep. So going between worlds in the realm of sleep, that's easy. They're all connected. Easy peasy. It's just getting in the first place. That's the hard part.
Got you.
So to facilitate this,
I get really, really nervous when you make that face.
Yeah, because I'm like, you're about to lore dump us.
The face says, "You two are not going to enjoy this."
To facilitate this, Yensid is going to send them back in time to Destiny Island.
There's time travel.
Time travel! You know what? We've done everything else. Dream worlds, light, dark, tangibility, retcons, time travel. And you know what? I'm shocked that it took us.
Can he not stop some shit with this?
I am shocked. Actually shocked that it's taken us this long to get here. Because I feel like data worlds. You know, fucking
Would you
fine.
like to know the best thing?
Sure.
This isn't the first time there's been time travel. I've just not explained it.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's Union Cross related.
Oh, kill me.
Did you know that Maleficent time travels?
Sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in passing, I think.
I did mention it in passing at one point.
I just can't believe it's here, that it's like a direct thing in the big Sora games.
Yeah, so...
Fuck me. Alright.
So
now we're replaying the Disney worlds.
to facilitate entering the sleeping realm, Yensid is going to send them back in time to the Destiny Islands
Okay.
just before they were swallowed by the darkness
Got you.
and plunged into sleep.
I need to understand before
Yes.
we go on, because I love a bit of time travel.
Yeah.
I love really analysing the kind of logic of time travel.
I think you're going to be disappointed here.
What kind of time travel is this?
Yeah.
Is this consciousness into younger bodies? Is that what I assume
No.
we're doing?
It's... I would call it separate world line.
So when
Okay.
I
So
would
this is
call
a
it-
different timeline now.
It is not clearly explained, but that's what I would
But they
call
are
it.
in their younger bodies, so it's their adult consciousness
It would seem so.
into their younger
It would
bodies,
seem so, yes.
into a reality where the storm that happened that night didn't.
No, so this was the night that they were swallowed by darkness.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
So the same events happening.
Why was Ursula there?
So we don't know.
Okay, cool. Sorry, apologies.
But the goal is to stop the storm?
No. So when a world falls into darkness, it briefly is in sleep before it goes all the way to darkness.
Okay.
So essentially, they're trying to get into the world right before it falls into sleep, and in that moment, find the entry point into the sleeping realm.
Cool.
So right as it's about to fall asleep.
At the risk of giving you a big head, you're very good at clarifying our many questions,
Yeah,
and thank
very
you for
good
that.
at that.
Like, we've got to the point here
we're
where,
really belligerent and annoying
Yeah.
sometimes.
and despite the fact that like so much of this is brain fried territory, you are making it accessible for us.
Oh, I try.
you're wonderful.
I hate this, but like you are making me understand it.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna try and remember. Remind me when we get to the end of this game that there's something that I had a big trouble with about Sora and Riku time traveling
Okay.
that I can't explain right now because it involves later game knowledge. Just remind me later and I'll see if I remember.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Okay, so once they are back in the past, they're going to be plunged into sleep where they must let their dreams guide them to the sleeping worlds, which is why we saw them fall asleep after falling into darkness off the raft. And then they kind of subconsciously keybladed open an opening.
Cool.
So they follow their dreams. From there, once they're in, they must go unlock the 7 sleeping keyholes, granting them this new power that they're wanting, and returning the worlds from sleep. So it's a double purpose journey. Save these 7 worlds, and also get this one power.
This isn't when they were, for example, underwater. Their unconscious minds, the keys, unlock the door while they're underwater. Their bodies come with them. It's not their consciousness going to a new dream world. It's not, or is it Inception, where their bodies are there, stuck underwater while they're having this dreaming adventure?
Are they sleeping in Yensid's room right now?
I will be 100% honest. I am not positive.
That's
Fine. Dream logic, so I guess it doesn't matter,
I'm
right?
not positive.
It's not
Okay.
super important. It's just
just
curious.
I'd like to say it's their whole body, but I don't know.
Cool.
Anyhow, if they are able to complete this task and return, if Yensid will name them true masters.
Fuck off,
To which
Yensid.
I noted, hot damn, this test is a
What did-
lot harder than
I know,
Aqua
what
and
did
Terra's
Aqua have to
light
do?
balls.
Aqua-
I'm sorry. Yeah, what the fuck? So Yensid's takeaway. I'm sorry. I don't want to stop us, right? But fuck Yensid here. Yensid's takeaway is, oh yes, years and years ago, Aqua and Terra, they got trained for years and years, which finally culminated in the single test of fighting a ball of light. Sora and Riku, you've had no training, so you will have your test
Travel
is to
through
go
time.
and save the universe.
Travel through time. You basically have to go and do an Avengers Endgame plus like fucking.
Like, fuck, man. Just teach them how to swing a keyblade.
They've saved the world like twice.
They've already done their test, which are stood by.
Nah, they're not masters, man. Fuck 'em.
Okay. Yeah.
Just fucking sign their name and teach them how to shoot a beam from their keyblade.
I also want to know
Solved.
that if Yensid's this tough of a fucking master, I really want to know what test he assigned to Mickey.
My god, yeah.
Take over the kingdom.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh my
Mickey,
God.
Game of Thrones this shit.
Okay, onwards to Cite Des Cloches. It's the city of bells from... so we're in Notre Dame.
Oh, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Cool,
We
cool,
are
cool.
in Paris, in Notre Dame. The bells are chiming. Lovely. Sora meets Frollo, who thinks that he is a gypsy. Side note, we have spoken to a traveler who we're friends with, who told us that this is a correct term to use here. Just as a brief side note. So Sora meets Frollo, who thinks that Sora is a gypsy because he's got such wacky, zany clothes. And apparently, anything out of the norm qualifies. So Sora and Phoebus save Quasimodo from some Dream Eaters. Dream Eaters are obeying him. Cool. Esmeralda shows up, helps usher Quasimodo to safely. Much Disney plot later with Frollo.
Yeah.
Sora is approached by young Xehanort, who tells him that he has made his heart into a prison. We see his image double with the image of Vanitas very briefly, as they both say, even if you are not the prisoner.
Fuck off, Xehanort.
Because keep in mind, as of right now, technically Vanitas is in Sora's heart as well.
Which ties back, I guess, with Recoded, which is the whole chat of like, Sora's got extra hearts in his heart and we need to stop him and Mickey sent a letter, right?
Pretty much, but that's been explained in other games, so like you don't even need
We're a few beers deep at this point. Why is Xehanort in his heart currently? I understand why Vanitas is in his heart.
No. Xehanort's not in his heart. Xehanort's just in his sleeping world.
Oh, I see.
Why?
He's just here. Without a reason.
Okay, is this just a strength, realistically, structurally, is this just a strength in the Xehanort villain relationship before 3? Is that the idea?
We do not know.
Okay.
We do not know as of this point. All we know is that he's telling us that our heart's a prison. Even if we're not the prisoner, we assume that this is probably referring to both Vanitas, Ventus, Roxas, yada yada.
What is young Xehanort like? Is he, you know how like old Xehanort was like, meh, every second. Is he like that? Is he like a dickhead?
No, he's actually like really calm evil. Like he's like still water is how I describe him.
Right.
Just kind of like calm and sinister. Cool. Is the way that I would describe young Xehanort.
Like in control every scene.
Yeah, like he's not really angry. He's not really like losing control of his emotions. He's just a calm sinister.
Interesting. Okay.
So exposition explained. They walk away, and the keyhole appears, which Sora opens, questioning what young Xehanort meant by his heart being a prison. Shortly after this, Riku also arrives in Paris, so he can also do Paris. You do each world twice. Thank God they have separate plots. But, of course, we can't have individual worlds. That would be silly. So, Riku arrives in Paris, does Disney plot, yada yada. Same boss fight. It's the same boss fight in each world for each one.
Cool.
End of that, we see Frollo fall off the top of Notre Dame, die in the fire, just like the Disney movie.
Yeah. And
we see Riku approached by young Xehanort and Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. He's back again, baby!
Why are you here?
He can't die!
That's literally what Riku asks. Why are you here in this picture? Why are you here?
And frankly, I think that I'm just gonna call him Ansem in this game. I don't think
even though he's not Ansem.
Well, this is Ansem, Seeker of Darkness.
This is the same guy that we fought.
It's just called Ansem. He's not based on Ansem in it.
No, we're just going to call him Ansem because there's not an Ansem the Wise here to confuse him with. And if I called him Xehanort, there's another Xehanort here.
Cool.
So there's young Xehanort and Ansem. So Ansem tells him that he needs to embrace the darkness, yada yada, and Riku's all, nah, fam, I walk the road to the dark while pulling out a keyblade, which is literally called the way to the dawn.
Riku's like, oh, you're 7 games too late.
I know, literally. He's like, how many times have we been over this, my dude? So young Xehanort says how he's still afraid of the dark and leaves with Ansem. And we're like, hasn't he conquered his fear of the dark like several times?
Yeah, legit.
Anyway, Riku says to himself that he can't be afraid of the dark while he has the keyblade. That would be silly. Anyway, he opens the keyhole, awakening Paris, and we pass through the portal to the next sleeping world. Before we go through, though, we hear a voice that we've not heard before saying, Axel, you haven't forgotten? The scene opens, and and this is in the blackness that we hear this. This isn't, like, overlaid over Riku.
Where is he, Chase?
The scene opens, and we see Axel and Roxas with their sea salt ice creams on the clock tower.
Okay. Where are they?
Roxas says that he made a promise that they'd always be... Roxas says how Axel made a promise that he'd always be there to bring them back. Got it memorized?
Got it memorized. We do. It's like the one thing we remember.
Roxas fades as Axel says that they're best friends forever. Suddenly, he wakes up in Ansem the Wise's labs along with the other apprentices who are all back to wearing their apprentice clothes.
I don't care about them.
The tattoos from his face are gone.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a plot point surrounding that in Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm not going to get to it.
Okay, yes.
Sure, all right.
That's actually a plot point. I'll just tell you, their makeup, he drew them on in the organization.
Sure, man. No problem.
Anyhow,
He's cool. Yeah.
Anyhow, he wakes up, he's calling everybody else by their somebody names, and then he looks at himself, realizing that they're whole ass people again, to which I wrote a note saying, damn, they didn't even have to fucking create a Kingdom Hearts, they just had to die.
That's so true.
Oh my god. Kingdom Hearts 2, in retrospect, means so little.
Like, as much as I think that on its own it is like the most narratively solid of the series, in the context of the wider narrative, it's literally there to introduce us to these characters and nothing else.
Yeah.
It does not have a wider purpose. And I think I'm going to get some angry people in the comments for that. So, next up, Prankster's Paradise.
Living in a prankster's paradise.
It's Pinocchio's world.
Oh, that's the whale. Okay.
Never mind. He meets Jiminy, but Jiminy doesn't know Sora. Now, why the fuck is Jiminy here?
Why the fuck is Jiminy here?
Jiminy should be in his pocket, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
So we get a flashback to Yensid.
Checked on him in a while. Jimmy's suffocated.
we get a flashback briefly to exposition, so he can be exposition boy, where he explains that in the sleeping worlds, time doesn't flow. While they may meet faces they know, they're really just the dreams of the world and are in actuality asleep. Furthermore, in the world's dream, it may restore things that have gone missing, such as Jiminy, who we know managed to escape the real world during its demise.
Chase, are they going to come out of the dream stuff and be like 20? Are they going to age quite considerably? Is it going to be like, you've been in the dreams for 4 years, sort of shit?
Who knows, man?
Okay, I think that's what we're doing.
But yeah, so basically, the
dream.
dreams, it's so just to clarify, like I said, these are all a bit different from Traverse Town specifically. This is the heart of the world that was the whole thing in Kingdom Hearts 1. That is what is asleep.
Right.
Because it's hearts that go to sleep. It's not like people sleeping and hearts sleeping are different things. Mm-hmm. If people sleep, they're just asleep. If people's hearts go to sleep, they're in the realm of sleep. So this is the realm, and the realm has like a kind of memory dream thing of what it should be like, including all the people there. So if somebody isn't there who should be there in the dream, a la Jiminy who has escaped, or Pinocchio and Geppetto, the dream in the sleeping realm, it will recreate them.
Okay, cool.
So
this is Pinocchio's world, the heart of which has gone to sleep. Mm-hmm. And we may meet people there who are real, but their hearts are asleep.
Exactly.
But it will also compensate for other people who haven't gone to sleep.
So we might see Pinocchio, we might see Geppetto, we might see Monstro, we might see Jiminy, who we all know were in Traverse Town, which is also making me realize how sad it is that at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, everybody got their worlds back, and Pinocchio and Geppetto were like, we gotta go home! And they don't. Their home's not back.
Goddamn.
Rest in peace. Anyhow.
It's alright, they don't need to breathe.
Pinocchio shenanigans aside, young Xander again is trying to turn the people in the world against Sora.
Sweet.
And ultimately, he appears with a good, lovely, familiar friend. Xemnas is back!
Oh, okay, this is what this game is. We're bringing back all the baddies.
Everyone's back. It's the Smash Bros. Ultimate of Kingdom Hearts. Cool. So he tells Sora that he's not so dissimilar to a nobody before leaving. More Pinocchio shenanigans.
He says that Sora's not so similar to nobody. So, I don't know about that. Sora's got about 8 people in him as opposed to no hearts.
Sora's killed 8 people.
Sora's got several hearts in him.
More Pinocchio shenanigans later. Sora makes Monstro fly in a big bubble, fight Dream Eater, typical stuff.
Sure, yeah, classic by this point.
I just liked this one image of him like.
Monstro doesn't need that. We saw Monstro flying to space earlier.
I just liked this one image of Sora putting Monstro in a bubble, and he literally uses him as like a war turret to fight down a flying Dream Eater.
That's awesome.
So I just wanted to include that. Anyhow, keyhole lock next world.
Cool.
Back in Yensid's tower, Doobles sat there and they're like,
Dooble?
Dooble.
We're Kingdom in this game.
Yeah. Well, no, remember I said they're chilling in Yensid's tower.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they're like, is Sora okay? Because I guess that, Riku doesn't matter because they're cunts. But then suddenly, Maleficent's Raven appears.
Why? You're not relevant to
Oh
what's
my god!
happening.
And it has Minnie's crown and a letter.
Oh, who fucking cares?
Maleficent's kidnapped Queen Minnie, and she needs Mickey to return to Disney Castle or else.
We've only seen Minnie do one terrible thing.
Yeah.
We saw her in Kingdom Hearts 2, where she kind of just was a damsel in distress.
It just Chase
Yeah.
level with me. Is
Yeah.
this plot? Is this is I don't mean like is it worth telling us? Tell us, right?
Don't
but like
spoil the ending.
yeah, but like is it relevant to Dream Drop and Sora and Riku and Xemnas and
No, it's relevant to future games.
Oh fuck! What Kingdom Hearts 3 or beyond
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3?
Both.
Fuck me.
Okay,
Right.
go on.
So, yeah, we're starting to get to a period of Kingdom Hearts games where they start planting things that do not get resolved in that game. Nomura's gotten very much in a habit of putting things that are going to be resolved in future games. Like, early games, if there was something unresolved, it was like such a vague, overarching question, like, end of Kingdom Hearts 1, how are they going to get home? Just so you have a seed to plant an adventure. But now it's like, what is this plot point, this plot point, this plot point, this plot point, like a whole laundry list of things. It's like, what's that?
I also feel like, and I know everybody has their own limit, right? But me personally, I've definitely think just hit my limit of Disney bullshit. And like how much I care. I'm like, nah, Xehanort is so interesting. Time travel, interesting. Maleficent taking over Disney Castle is like bottom of my list of priorities right now.
But what if Pete comes back?
No, we know Pete's origin. That's all I need to know.
So anyhow, so Mickey needs to go back to Disney Castle or Minnie's gonna get killed. Anyhow, after Mickey's gone to save his wifey, Yensid's commenting on like how the timing is too perfect and that Maleficent must have sensed a change in the tides of darkness, meaning that Xehanort has probably just in that moment rematerialized and returned.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, from the nobody heartless, killed them.
Probably.
He reforms. Okay.
So
okay.
she probably sensed that he's back, putting a shift in the tides of darkness, and started to act it herself.
Cool. Okay. So Xehanort's officially back.
I think I choose to interpret that as a fuck, my boss is back from holiday. I need to look like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Again, is everything okay at work?
I don't want to give to. I have started a new job recently, and it is going wonderfully.
Oh,
I have just had 10 years of working in hospitality prior to this, and I feel like there will be a long time before I recover from that.
Yeah. Xehanort's coming. Look busy.
So, back in the world, we're now inside Monstro again. Have you guys missed that?
We were still doing Pinocchio shit. Oh no, this is Riku's side.
Riku finally shows up.
Cool.
Some Disney shit later, he finds a hooded Roby, and when the hooded Roby lowers their hood, it's Riku. Riku finds Riku.
Oh no.
Riku finds Riku.
We're bringing back the villains, aren't we? I know exactly. You know who this is. We know who this is. This is fucking Replica Riku, isn't it?
Riku's back, baby. Replica.
This motherfucker.
Well, no, this one's Replica Riku. Well, because there's a technicality to it, but I'll get to that later.
Nomura definitely needs a certain number of villains for whatever reason, and he plucked Replica fucking Riku.
13 and 7.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's picking it up. So,
13 Xehanorts.
Riku sees it as his dark side from when he once gave into the darkness.
It's your Replica, you fucking muppet.
Okay, but the replica was technically made from his dark side when he was controlled, so he's not technically wrong.
I'm too drunk, I'm not gonna question it. I've got, yeah.
It's Replica, but he's not technically wrong. Anyhow, more Disney stuffs, and we wake a keyhole. Moving on. Next, Sora's back in Tron World.
Hey, I know where I am.
It's the grid.
Oh, okay.
I just want to show his outfit.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's his outfit.
I love it.
So he's back in the grid. But we notice it's a lot more advanced than the one he was in. The one he was in before was very much 80s.
Is this like Tron Legacy?
Maybe.
Do we get old Jeff Bridges this thing?
Maybe. The last one was all, 80s shit. And yeah, this is, creepy ass human models.
Gosh.
Oh, I don't like it. Oh, it's really, really like out of place.
Nintendo DS, 3DS, Jeff Bridges looks a bit like how I want Ewan McGregor to look in the Obi-Wan series that's coming out soon.
Yeah. Wait, but I thought we were in Sleeping Worlds.
Yeah.
But this is a computer program.
Yeah. Which point?
Is this a different computer program to the one we were in previous games? In the first time we were in Tron World?
Okay.
That was the security defense system.
You are 2 bullet points ahead of me.
I was going to say, because that wasn't lost to darkness.
You're 2 bullet points ahead of me.
Okay.
Anyhow, going through the movie's plot, because it is literally just the Tron Legacy plot. So yeah, so he meets Tron, but Tron has no fucking clue who Sora is, which is weird because, obviously we helped Tron in the past. He does kind of vaguely think that Sora's name sounds familiar, but no clue. Anyway, young Xehanort's back,
Great.
and so is Xemnas.
Sure. We know this already, right? We're good with this.
Well, I mean just that they've appeared here.
Cool.
And they're telling Sora that the people, that people put the most precious memories in the back of their minds where they're safe. Or in Sora's case, the most precious hearts? Gasp. Xemnas arrives, then saying that memories and hearts are tightly linked, which obviously we know. Yeah. But in a digital world, memory is silicon. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
He then goes on to explain that this is not the Tron from Kingdom Hearts 2. So remember that the one in Kingdom Hearts 2 was a copy of the original NCOM. Yes. This is the original NCOM program.
Which has,
this is the original NCOM program.
So in the original NCOM program, there is an older version of a character from the copy of it.
It would seem.
Well, that makes sense, right? Because it got copied, and since it got copied, he aged. So actually, the logic is sound, I think.
Well, I mean, in Tron Legacy, it's a human who's gone into the... Anyhow.
It doesn't matter. It's Disney World.
It does not matter. It's Disney plot. So, Xemnas continues that here, data such as memories can be so easily copied and replicated. You can just copy-paste that NFT.
Xemnas looks like a guy that I would avoid at a bar. In this image, he's got sort of leather jacket, but not like a... Yeah, just with the hair and the look he's giving me, his eyes are down, I'd avert my gaze. And I'd keep my hand on my phone and my wallet, to be honest, as well.
What about our
completely disagree.
Young Xehanort?
You'd fuck that guy, is that what you're saying?
No, on the left is you, on the right is the guy she tells you not to worry about.
Oh, we might have to add that to the image.
Yeah.
So anyway,
here's my concern for all these various versions who are coming back.
Yeah.
And please,
are we going to time paradoxes things?
Well, no, I hadn't even got to that. But let's
That's coming.
For future games, when we're sort of assuming that this is maybe set up for our future games, all these villains, all these different versions together, I doubt it's all dealt with in this one game. Do they all like each other? Because I would imagine, like, young version of myself, old version of myself, half of myself, other half of myself. I would hate me because I'd like.
I mean,
we would not work together.
Yeah, they coexist. Okay, they coexist.
They got a goal, I guess, of some variety. Okay.
So he's talking about how it's so easy to copy memories in this place. They can be replicated so easily. You can just copy paste the NFTs, but But can Sora be sure that his memories are not just copies of somebody else's?
Sure, man.
Is Sora even himself, man?
Yes.
Oh, no. Do we know?
I don't know.
Do we know that?
Does it matter?
Maybe.
It's like my philosophical question back to you, video game. The memories that make us up are just the memories that we are. Like, fuck it.
But what if those memories are replaced with somebody else's memories? Are you still you?
Okay, fair enough.
We're not going to go into this.
No, but if the reason why Sora is a serial killer is because of Vanitas' memories, then yeah, maybe we should talk about it. But until then, I don't think any of that's relevant.
Oh, my throat hurts so much. Oh, this is great. Anyhow, he continues that Sora's sure. He's like, nah, my memories are my own, bro. But Xemnas is like, double check the contents of the box and make sure they match the label. And then he walks away.
That's a good line. I like it.
That is good.
He needs to always spout his spooky lines. Xemnas has the best spooky lines.
Yeah, was it him that had a phenomenal line that I quite liked a few games ago, I think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was literally yesterday.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So, young Xehanort, who's still there, tells Sora that tells Sora that Sora thinks that he's in a sleeping world, but Data doesn't sleep. It doesn't dream.
Right.
Sora doesn't know where he is, or that he's already wandered off the path. And then he leaves. More Tron shit. Keyhole. Good shit. Awesome.
I've got to say, I am quite enjoying this one, story-wise.
This one's great. I don't understand why people don't like this one.
Because so far we've done nothing but waste time, I would argue.
No, we haven't.
The villain's coming back? Sure, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's an Ansem
That's
report.
what's hooked me.
That's an Ansem report.
That was great. And meanwhile, the whole time you're doing Pokemon mechanics, and it's fucking fantastic. Anyhow. Back in Radiant Gardens, Lee still... I don't actually think that they've actually called him Lee as of this point, but we know his name for prior games, so fuck it.
Sure.
He can't find Issa and Break. Alias, Ienzo, Dylan, and Evan have now woken up. Lee questions if wrong way. Lee questions if Breg and Issa have been somehow blasted to another world, but Issa tells him that they should have ended up back where their hearts originally left them, which seems to mean that ones like Marluxia, Larxene, Luxor, Demix were not separated here, but the rest of them lost their hearts in this lab, which is why they are now all together again in the lab as somebody's.
Why do I always get stuck with the icky jobs?
Oh, I don't think I ever put any of those quotes. He says that before he's sent out to kill several. He keeps saying that when he's sent out on kill missions in the prior games.
Oh, right, cool.
Like when he's sent out to kill Roxas or when he's sent out to kill Vexen and stuff. It's a callback line. We love it.
I love it.
So anyway,
Got it memorized.
So in the case that the world where their hearts left is unavailable, they'll end up in Traverse Town. Because Traverse Town is your whole refuge town.
Yeah.
So Lee, he fucks off to go look for them.
Cool.
Next up, Riku arrives in the grid.
Riku looks badass.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I love Sora.
Right, Troops, we're looking at Riku in the Tron gear right now.
It's especially his keyblade.
And the keyblade it's the same shape, design, everything, except it's the kind of dark blue, black and white of the
It's the neon.
Tron neon design.
Neon really makes it work.
It's fucking fantastic.
It's quite cool. Yeah. Anyhow, Riku finishes off the Tron movie, opens a keyhole, and we're done.
Cool, great.
Nobody shows up for him.
No problem.
So we're back in Traverse Town again. So Josh has been waiting for them. He tells him that Riku's here again, the whole Split World thing. He tells him the game that Neku was playing in the past is one that the Reapers set up to decide that they give them challenges. They need to complete the challenges.
The Reapers?
So
I've just finished replaying Mass Effect.
this is a thing from their game. Reapers. So fucking sorry for people who haven't played Worlds of These, spoiling the whole thing. Reapers work under Joshua. They're the ones who set the challenges, and you need to beat all the challenges if you want to have Joshua bring you back from the dead.
So it's Disney movie stuff. I know it's not a Disney movie, but like, as far as what matters here, this is all. You might as well be telling me Jafar's one in the lamp.
Disney movie plot.
Yeah.
Only thing that matters: challenge they're facing. Gotta go kill a Dream Eater that can create 100 copies.
Okay, cool.
And I've literally written as much as I'd love to go into this plot. Time's a taken, so needless to say, Sora helps.
Legit. Yeah, cool.
Boss is defeated, and it passes through the portal to Riku's side. Riku arrives. Josh gives more information, where we find that he was a bit wrong with his initial thoughts on the parallel Traverse Towns.
Cool.
So after Shiki and Beat crossed through the portal to meet with their partners after Sora and Riku left, their timers didn't match. Match what they were on the other side of the portal, indicating that time flows differently in the two Traverse Towns.
Cool.
So it seems to Josh that this isn't actually one world that's split into two sides, but rather it's two entirely distinct worlds. There are two entirely separate Traverse Towns.
Right.
That means that currently they're in a dream, which means nothing to Josh and his friends, but this should be a vital clue to Riku and Sora.
Okay.
Josh and his friends, they don't fuck it. If they were in a dream, whatever. So, Riku, Beat and Rhyme defeat the boss again, goes back through the portal. Sora is there. And And at that point, Riku's next keyhole appears. He unlocks it. Next portal. Before he leaves, Josh warns him of what he says, saying that if it is a dream, it's going to try to lie to him.
Okay.
Back on Sora's side, beat the boss a third time. It flies off into the sky. Or excuse me, the keyhole appears and the boss flies up into the sky through the keyhole. So boss has disappeared somewhere for some
And we need to
reason.
beat the boss, basically, to save the world, right?
It's a Dream Eater.
Oh, okay.
So Sora unlocks the keyhole to go after it. And Neku tells him that they're connected as friends, and that he'll see Sora again in Shibuya, which is definitely not meant as foreshadowing, but was definitely just meant to reference the world into you, but in retrospect somehow absolutely comes across as foreshadowing. And anyway, back at Disney Castle, Mickey finds Pete and Maleficent, and they have Minnie!
Shibuya, 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 you lose! Oh, okay.
So, Maleficent's with Pete, and they've captured Minnie. Oh no! She's still on her whole, take over the world juice, yada yada. Mickey ain't buying it though, because he's like, not even you would go through so much trouble to kidnap the Queen of Disney just to take over the world juice.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, what you like.
Yeah, so we've now got a screen grab of Angelina Jolie, which is more confusing given that this was the Maleficent that is sort of redeemed and made more human in the... Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
I mean, wouldn't you say that our Maleficent is absolutely redeemed? She's great.
I mean, I love her.
So
she's got some work to do.
So Maleficent confirms, saying that Xehanort has taught her everything she knows, which we, of course, know from all the way back in Birth by Sleep, that Xehanort taught her about worlds and Seven Hearts and Kingdom Hearts, yada yada. And that, of course, we assume that Xehanort was probably, as Ansem Seeker of Darkness, was probably whispering in her ear throughout Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah. Just to sow chaos with the Heartless, etc.
Pretty much. He was probably just, puppeting her for his own machinations, but anyhow, he taught her everything she knows. But even with all that, the worlds proved too powerful for her. However, maybe she can conquer the worlds in her own manner, saying how Mickey does have data versions of all the world, where I have a note saying, oops, are we going to get in trouble for skipping coded?
Thank God we didn't.
We're not, because as of right now, in the plot, this has never been revisited.
Great.
This scene happens and we never go back to it for some reason. It's just forgotten.
Again, I don't want to interrupt you here. Again, don't tell us if it's a massive spoiler. Have we seen Maleficent again chronologically since this point?
I will say, yes, she does appear in Kingdom Hearts 3, which I will tell you is the next full game after this. This is the last game before Kingdom Hearts 3.
Got you.
But she doesn't give a fuck about Data Worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, so this is never revisited.
Maleficent therefore appears in one way or another in every single Kingdom Hearts game, with the exception of 2.8, the mini game before it.
258.
No.
Days.
No.
358 days.
Does she not appear in one of the worlds? No?
She does not know.
Oh, fair enough. Wow, so Maleficent doesn't appear in arguably the best story in the series. I'm putting two and two together on that one.
To be fair, that one's barely thinking about Disney, though, so they don't need a Disney villain doesn't even really have a villain, because emotions are the villain. Trying to get the data worlds from Mickey, she blasts him with darkness, but is stopped as Lee shows up.
Yes!
And Lee saves all the Disneys from Maleficent.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh my god.
I love we've just attached ourselves to spiky red hair, man.
I know, we've always...
I mean, you and the rest of the fandom, let's be real.
We loved him from when he was Axel, we loved him from game.
And it's because he's our last living, remaining, connection to Roxas and Xion. Yeah, he's great.
So,
good for you, Lee.
Maleficent runs off, says, I'll be back, yada yada. Mickey tells Lee that he was reckless for using the darkness to get here, especially now that he's a somebody.
Oh.
When he was a nobody, but it was whatever, use the darkness, yada yada. But he's a somebody now, he can be corrupted, his heart can be corrupted.
Oh no.
But anyway, Mickey's thankful that he saved him. And technically, outside of an added cutscene that I added to the 358 remix, this is meant to be when we get Lee's name for the first time.
Right. Okay.
We're not meant to get Lee's name prior to this, but whatever. We've known it for a while.
Why do nobodies put X's in their names?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. if Axel, the nobody, chose, could he start being like, guys, can you just start calling me Lee, please? I don't like.
I mean, he could, but the name was given to him by.
Also, like,
by
does
Xemnas,
the location of the X matter? For example, he's called Axel. Would it matter if he was Alex? Just for argument's sake, if there was a character called Alex, would that matter?
Presumably he could be, but Alex doesn't sound like a Final Fantasy character, so no.
That's very true.
Mickey next appears in a world where he finds Mickey and Dooble in a sleeping world.
Oh.
But they don't recognize him. However...
What world?
We'll get there. Mickey does recognize, however, Sora's keyblade, knowing, and seeing the keyblade. So this is a Mickey that knows what a keyblade is.
Right, because is this the Mickey?
This is the version? Mickey.
Right.
But it's seeming to be one that was recreated by this sleeping world. But it is the Mickey. He is a keyblade wielder. He knows about keyblades. He is here on like a mission. I don't think he ever actually says what the mission is. I think it's save Mini Juice. Because guess where we are?
Mini Juice.
Three Musketeers land.
Oh.
Was this the Musketeers?
It's the Musketeers.
Okay.
Oh, like one for all and one for all. Yeah, like
Yeah.
what Donald and Goofy say to Sora quite a lot.
Yeah. So Sora is here. I mean, not Sora. Mickey's here on a Keyblade mission that I assume is Save Minnie, because that's the plot of this movie, I guess. And that's why he's a Musketeer. So, do the movie. Onwards. Riku comes.
Oh my god, are we skipping this one? Yes!
Riku comes, keyhole away.
Yes! Fuck you, Country of Musketeers!
It's a fun world, but it is probably the most painfully filler one in the entire game. Shoot back over to Yenny Boy's tower.
Neil, what is it?
It's a keychain, Yensid. Continue.
Mickey has for some reason brought Lee, because Lee wanted to talk to Yensid. And we can't hear, like, he does one of that classic moves his mouth, but no words come out.
Hates it.
Yeah.
But of course, moves his mouth, no words come out, but everybody's shocked by whatever he said.
But we, the player, don't know what that
We
is.
have no
But
clue.
they do.
They know what it said. Yensid says how he sensed that something was amiss from the moment that Sora and Riku left, and that Xehanort must have known what they were going to do before they did it. So, oh shit.
So Xehanort's like 10 steps ahead here.
Xehanort is 10 steps ahead of him. However, he goes on to say that this is obviously very much not how a normal Mark of Mastery exam happens. He's very conscious of that.
I don't give a fuck if he's conscious.
This isn't normal.
He's thrown 2 children into the past.
And he's essentially saying...
Guys, this is a little bit untoward. Just sign the fucking certificate, you wank. So far, this has been nothing but shite.
It has nothing to do with certificate. It has everything to do with... Basically, given the fact that they have to fucking fight God tier Xehanort, all this extra training and unlocking powers is a necessity.
No, I'm sorry. All they've learned is how to train Pokemon. Not relevant, not useful.
You're wrong.
Shite.
Anyhow, moving on. However, since they started the exam, Yensid has been unable to locate them.
Okay.
He says how the organization members are back, Xehanort's back, and they don't have a moment to lose. He warns Lee that the road ahead isn't going to be easy, and Lee agrees to whatever he agrees to.
Sure, man. No problem.
Next up... Cut that.
I won't.
Next up, Sora arrives in a world with some banging orchestral music, and Mickey's in his wizard robes, and he has his hat, and he's orchestrating the water with his magic.
I would pay someone money to put the Mickey plots into chronological order from Kingdom Hearts. I need to know, like, what point we're at here for Mickey.
Well, this is clearly in his Keyblade training, because he's an apprentice to Yensid in Fantasia.
No, I feel the opposite. I feel like I couldn't give a fuck. Mickey's flitting about doing his own thing.
I still just really want to know what Mickey's Mark of Mastery exam was.
I just,
Maybe this, for all we know. Yensid
what
just
I
makes
wanna
it
know
up.
is what Mickey's plan is to it, and we can discuss this after the last entry.
Does
What
Mickey
Mickey's
have a
plan was throughout all the games.
I feel like Mickey's not in control here. I feel like he's just along for the ride.
Yeah, no, but he's sort of in your he's in your Dumbledore Gandalf role of like setting the heroes on their way in.
As opposed to, Yensid,
That's Yensid.
the old wizard man.
Yeah, I know, but Mickey's popping up to
He's
save
Aragon,
them.
mate.
Mickey pops up to
True,
save them.
Argonians.
Get fucked. He is not. Aragorn is a sweet baby boy and does nothing wrong, and I won't hear a word against him.
Well, now that I've learned that it's not the Mickey that banishes
Mickey
Pete
to
to
Aragorn at
the
no
Phantom
point.
Zone.
When Aragorn is asked a message, he doesn't go, bye, and poof off into space.
I agree, alright? As a massive Lord of the Rings fan, I am not conflating Kingdom fucking Hearts with Lord of the fucking Rings. But you started it.
That's because Kingdom Hearts' story is better than Lord of the Rings.
And we're moving on.
I don't actually believe that for clarity.
So we're in Fantasia.
We're not in Fantasia. But, the Dream Eater boss from Traverse Town is also here.
Cool.
It attacks Sora, and he ends up in Yensid's tower. We're in the mysterious tower.
Oh, in the past.
But something's weird. Because Mickey is in Yensid's chair, and he's in like a trance, and he's conducting music seemingly.
He's a little prick.
He's doing his little Fantasia mischief.
Sora, hit him with your keyblade.
He's trying to control the dark, not the
Darkness.
Well, to be fair, his hands do have like a purple glowy, so he might be trying to control the darkness here.
Jesus Christ, alright.
Potentially. But again, just like prior worlds, he doesn't recognize Sora, but he recognizes the keyblades, yada yada, he's Yensid's apprentice. So, he needs help purifying the darkness and sends Sora in to find the power to sweep away all darkness that is apparently in Yensid's sheet music.
Sure, man. No bother.
And this is one of the best worlds in the entire series, the Symphony of Sorcery, which is rhythm gaming done right in this series.
I could see this being good.
It's just an entire rhythm game world, but it's like what Atlantica should have been, because it's just so good. Young Xehanort appears. I know, saying how easily Sora's soul falls into the depths of slumber.
Ooh.
Sora asks why he keeps following him around, to which Riku hits so many cracking, like just really sassy snide lines from Sora and Riku in this game, who are so clearly just done with all these Roby shit. They just constantly are sassing them with this like, why the fuck are you still on with this kind of bullshit?
Fuck him up.
But young Xehanort's like, haven't you caught on yet? Do you still assume that this is all part of your little test? Oh.
Wait, what? Wait, does Yensid think they're somewhere else? Have they tripped into a Xehanort plot? And Yensid's like, Mickey's like, oh, Yensid, what's their mark of mastery? And Yensid thinks they're fucking playing the bongos somewhere. Like,
Yensid said that he feels something's wrong, and he can't find them.
Oh my god.
He can't find them, using his locating magic.
So this is not actually their mark of mastery. This has been a fucking ruse. Oh, okay, sorry. Tell me what's happened.
Anyhow, he follows on.
They're gonna get back to Yensid and go, and we defeated like 6 different versions of Xehanort, and like all the other films for all the other, and he's going, yeah, bullshit. Yeah, I didn't see any of that shit. So
he follows on that he isn't part of the dream, and that this will all be over before he leaves again. Before young Xehanort leaves again. Sora finishes up, Mickey, music, keyhole, yada. Riku appears and is given up pretty much same task, go into the sheet music, rhythm games. He's also met by young Xehanort on Bald Mountain.
Cool.
Xehanort calls Riku the boy chosen by the keyblade. Obviously, it's confirmation. I've already explained this to you before. That obviously Kingdom Key was meant to be Riku's. This is pretty much when you get that whole exposition dump.
Cool, yeah.
Where, because Riku gave into darkness, Keyblade Chan was like, I don't like you anymore, and went to Sora's side.
Can you imagine if you hadn't played Birth by Sleep and you just picked this up because you saw the Pokemon Dream Eaters and you saw Sora and Riku and you went, yeah, sure, man. And then, like, fucking young Xehanort is appearing to tell Riku that he's the boy chosen by the Keyblade. You've played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. You've had a giggle with Mickey Mouse.
See, the really fun thing is imagine if you went from 2 to 3 without any of this interior as so many fucking people did, thinking that you were meant to go from 2 to 3.
I was going to just play 3.
I know, until you texted me and were like,
can you imagine?
I was like, 3 looks really pretty.
The thing is, we walked through 1. And by that point, I thought, I have an idea of what this franchise is and where it's going. I think I know what we'll end up with 2. I can't even now, with like 6 or 7 games behind me over 2 days, I've got no fucking idea what 3 looks like. I've got some guesses. I've got some guesses.
So Riku asks him what this is all about, to which young Xehanort responds that he doesn't really know how Riku did it, but he's found a way to trap darkness inside his heart. He's just fucking locked the darkness in there. And in doing so, he has somehow become immune to the darkness. Wow. Darkness straight up can't take him over.
And he's the first person in sort of recorded history to be able to do this.
It would seem. Because if Xehanort, who arguably is the one closest to the darkness, doesn't fucking know how he's done it, it would track that Riku is probably the only person who can do this.
Yeah, hell yeah, Riku.
And because he can't be kind of corrupted by the darkness, he is no use to the Robies.
Yeah, fuck you, Robies.
So he runs off.
Team Xehanort.
Summons Chernobog so we can have a nice reunion fight with Big Demon Boy in his proper world, to his proper music again. Riku, Keyhole, and yeah. So King Mickey asks Yensid if Lee can really do it. Yensid's unsure, but says that Merlin and the three good fairies are aiding him in a place that is more temporally flexible, and all that's left is to see if he's fit. Changing topic to Riku and Sora, Yensid says that if Xehanort really did preempt their plan, he would have had to be there at the very time and place when Destiny Islands were lost to darkness.
Oh, okay.
So Goofy asks if Xehanort may have done the same thing Sora and Riku did and jumped through time to get there, to which to which Yensid explains how time travel works in Kingdom Hearts, that essentially in order to travel through time, you can only travel to a time in which a version of yourself is there. So they could travel back to Destiny Islands because obviously their child versions were there.
Okay, my question then was, and I'm sure you have an answer, and I'm sure I'm being silly and drunk.
Of course.
Are various versions of Xehanort popping back in? How are they time traveling in to these different? Are they all real? Are they all maybe some of them created by the dream?
I don't know, man.
Guess we'll find out later.
I don't know. So anyhow, yes, you need a version of yourself there at the exact time and place. That's why they could time travel, which means, and not even Xehanort was able to transport his entire body over time. Which, for fuck's sake, brings... The reason that you need a prior is because the only way that you can time travel is by releasing your heart, and your heart can time travel, which is why it needs a version of yourself to basically take over in the past. So basically, they fucking just took over their former selves in the past. So basically, Xehanort would have had to have a version of himself at Destiny Islands the moment it fell into darkness. When, oh shit.
Oh, he's the fucking... he's brown robe. He's a brown robie.
He got a revelation.
Oh, mate, is it Xehanort the whole time? So Xehanort is popping about through time. Why, is my question. I guess we'll find that out. Okay.
I don't know, man.
He's got a plan. Right.
Yensid is shocked that Xehanort had this level of foresight to have thrown his fucking nobody to possess Riku all that way back then so that he could time travel there. And then Mickey's like, oh, help, we'll go save him! And saying that if Xehanort's behind all this, they won't stay in the dream world forever. They're going to have to pop out of the dream world.
Right.
But Yensid tells him that he's not able to locate Sora, but he can sense that Riku's in the realm between, and kind of sends Mickey off to go pick them up from school.
Cool.
So Sora's missing. Riku is in the Twilight. Sora has, of course, gone through his lovely portal in the Symphony of Sorcery, and he comes out in a lovely, familiar plaza of the world that never was.
Oh.
Which is still about.
Which is the home of the not real Kingdom Heart.
Yeah, that's
correct?
Right. Well, the second not real Kingdom Hearts. The second one.
Are we about to get that explained to us?
No.
Don't be an idiot.
Fuck you. You'll get there one day.
I realised that I've been asking the wrong question this whole time, which is, I've been asking you...
Who is Kingdom Hearts?
No, I've been asking you...
Friends with me.
I've been asking you, what is Kingdom Hearts? And the answer every time is it's the progenitor of all light, right? Which is fine, and that's a perfectly fine answer. I guess my real question, and the reason why I'm consistently confused by this is, what does Kingdom Hearts do?
It's the progenitor of all light.
No. Don't tell me it creates light. What does it do?
It does not create light. It's essentially the world and all hearts are born from it, and it has the power to create hearts, including the hearts of worlds. So with it, you can remake the world, essentially. You have the power to form the world and control all hearts if you control Kingdom Hearts.
So Xehanort wants it then, presumably, because he wants to cast the world to darkness, and the idea is if you shut off Kingdom Hearts, if you destroy it, that we can't make any more hearts and worlds, and everything will be darkness forever.
No. So,
No?
well, I mean, we don't know his plan as of right now, but,
Right, okay.
you know, he wants power over the great power that lets you control everything.
Right.
And reshape the world. Because he wants balance between the sides of the Force.
By just casting everything into darkness.
Is he just casting, or is he like, I'm going to sprinkle a bit of darkness because there's too much light everywhere?
Okay.
Just going to sprinkle with my wiggly fingers. My evil wiggly fingers.
Just one hand.
Just one hand.
So, remember that one of the things Mickey said was that, seemingly, if Xehanort has hijacked this exam, they're going to come out of the sleeping worlds back into the real world soon enough. And Sora showing up here, he's a bit confused because I don't know if you've kept count. We've now unlocked 7 sleeping keyholes. We've now unlocked 7 sleeping worlds. Why are we not back at Yensid's Tower or Destiny Islands? Why the fuck are we in the world that never was, of all places?
Yeah, they've completed their bullshit test.
Yeah, I mean, the test should be over at least, so why is this the other side of this tunnel of keyholes? So, Daddy Zigbar appears, best boy. God, look how tiny Babby Sora is.
I hate it.
Yeah, this is a nice little picture of little Babby KH1 model Sora against just the behemoth.
Just a fully grown man.
Full grown man in a dark robe. His white van's probably off to the side.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, little boy.
The rest of the 13 won't be very impressed with this.
I mean, are there 13? Is there an organization?
Well, some of them are alive.
Everyone's dead.
Well, some of them are somebody's, and some of them are.
Yeah, but not Larxene.
Who knows? Maybe Larxine's about.
Maybe
Sora just still needs to kill her Heartless. Zigbar shows up and he's like, "We did a lot to get you here, boy." Oh, he has a southern accent now. Okay. They hijacked Sora's little slumber party before it even started, and they've been both their companions and their guides this whole time. Aw. Obviously, he starts explaining things like how Robe Guy KH1 was Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, of course, not the Wise. Gotta remember there's several. Because Ansem was back there all the way back, Xehanort's been guiding them on their path from the very beginning. Now, whether we can take that to mean that literally he guided them through the events of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, shrug, or just this game.
Sure.
But, you know, I mean, I guess we could, because it was technically forms of him that did, but...
Why would he have?
That was my question.
It's all part of his master plan, man.
But they're the biggest pain in his ass. I mean...
Is it just because Ventus is in Sora's heart? Does that all come back to Xehanort bullying Ventus?
To be 100% honest, I don't know if Xehanort knows that Ventus is in Sora's heart. Because keep in mind that Xemnas, who we know should have had Xehanort's memories, because all the nobodies still have memories, except for, of course, our 2 favorites. But he was looking for Ventus, physically. So he might think that Ventus himself is still a thing and he's just kind of napping. I don't think that Xehanort knows at this point that Ventus's heart isn't in his body. I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But yeah, so Zigbar's like, well, if you're already back home, why aren't you in your normal clothes? You're still in this dope-ass child's fit. He's been hitting the child section. The child section that still has lovely cross straps.
So he's still to go to the adult section to get his shoes, though.
He continues on that there's no real versus dreams anymore. You're not gonna wake up. So this, to be honest, it gets a bit Inception here, and frankly, I don't know where we are. I don't know if we're currently in Sora's dream or if we're in a sleeping world. I don't know, because it just gets more confusing with sleeping shit from here.
Cool, I'm glad that you said that, because I'm lost. But cool.
Sora's still asleep.
Cool.
Whether everybody else is asleep with him, who the fuck knows? Sora's asleep.
Okay.
That's why he's still in his children clothes. So Xigbar is like, fam, I got a few more things to do. You sit tight. But he shoots a lovely little circle of bullets to surround him, which all, of course, turn into Robies in a 13? Lovely circle. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12, including Xigbar, who's run off. That's 13 again. Cool. Okay, we have a whole ass organization, maybe?
But some of them are somebodies in the real world, though, so this is presumably a...
But we've now seen a bunch of different Xehanorts. Do we know that it's just the same people we know?
This is true.
Or are they hooded because there's new fucking characters in this game that doesn't have enough characters yet?
Oh, boy.
Young Xehanort tells Sora to come before Sora falls into another sleep. Now, in his dream, young Xehanort shows him the first moment when all those years ago on Destiny Islands, young Xehanort, who knew nothing of the world, who knew nothing of anything beyond his beach, was approached by Mr. Robe Guy, which is, of course, we know is himself. So his self-fulfilling prophecy sent himself back in time to put himself on the path to become himself. And at this time, it's not like Roby was like, I'm actually you. Xehanort had no clue that Roby was him. Xehanort just knew that a Roby came to him and he's like, yo, fam, did you know there's worlds out there?
Shit seems pretty cool off this island.
It's pretty cool. Look, you can't even see the main island that's 20 feet away from your little island. Clearly there's things back there.
Okay, wait. Okay. I'm willing to just accept the time travel stuff. That's fine. Yeah. My question is, who is the progenitor of this time travel plot? Well, I know it's Xehanort, right? But how old was Xehanort when he started it? Because he must be young Xehanort, because that's why young Xehanort's popping up.
Do you mean who started this weird self-fulfilling time loop? Yeah, or how old was young Xehanort when he was approached by himself?
Young Xehanort was approached by himself, so somebody must have sent himself to speak to himself.
He sent himself to speak to himself.
Right, so at what point in the time... How old was Xehanort when he kicked off his time travel plot? I don't need an exact age, but we're talking young, old man Xehanort? Where are we?
This is not revealed in this game. I will tell you it is young Xehanort himself who is the first one to kick off the time travel plot. Okay. But that's a question for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to tell me that was a question for Kingdom Hearts bullshit mobile game. Bullshit.
I have another question about the island. Because the island, Destiny Island is like one house, right?
No, remember there's a whole other...
Yeah, but he's on the... Oh,
and a
right.
mayor.
Yeah, and a mayor.
Okay, but like, what I'm going to say is like, Sora's mum must have known it when he was a kid. Like, oh, wee Xehanort, aye! Little Xehanort used to sit on the beach looking miserable.
To be honest, probably. Well, actually, we don't know because... He's quite old by the time that we get to... He probably spent a fair number of years. It's somewhat implied as well that Keyblade wielders have extended lifespans. Again, like fucking Jedi. So it could have been well past the lifespan of Sora's mom, to be honest.
All right.
I would like to imagine that Kyrie's granny probably knew wee Xehanort.
I would quite like to have a villain turn of Xehanort being able to turn to Kyrie and saying, I fucked your granny back in the day.
Oh, yikes. Kyrie's granny was actually his Kyrie in the past time travel trio.
Yeah, all works in triplets.
Yeah, so the scene flashes to the hidden cave right before Destiny Island's destructions, where we learned that Xehanort had just been chilling in that cave for fucking years, waiting. Specifically, of course, Ansem Seeker of Darkness, the Roby one, brown Roby to differentiate from black Robies.
Perfect.
Brown Roby had been just chilling in that cave, Where, of course, we know that he first approached Sora to be like, the worlds are now connected, haha. So he'd just been chilling there. Like, essentially...
Just imagine him saying that to everyone that came around the corner. Oh, no, sorry.
He had been there from this point where he told himself all the way until Sora, which potentially could have been over 100 years, he had just been sitting in that cave as a weird, ghostly, disembodied, floaty, heartless, roby guy.
Right.
Yeah. You know, as he'd do, because he needed to wait so he could fulfill the next phase of the plan. To, you know, set Sora on his mission. We flash out of the dream very briefly, and we see that Mickey has arrived in the world that never was. He's with Double. They're running around. They're looking. Coming back into Sora, he awakens, and he's in his Kingdom Hearts 1 clothes this time in Traverse Town. And there's a bunch of himself, and, like, all running about the place. And it's his memories of Traverse Town, but all condensed into the same moment. So, like, everywhere that he ran at any moment in time is all condensed. And you see, like, a bajillion Soras running around. One's going to meet up with Double, and one's going to go meet up with yada yada, and they're all running about.
That's fucking awesome. Like, this whole concept is absolutely ridiculous and overcomplicated, but that is such a cool shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, love it.
Like that.
Sora appears, his clothes change, and he's now in his Kingdom Hearts 2 clothes, and he finds Naminé. And he tries to tell Naminé something.
Whoa.
But she turns, and it's Xion, who's back for reasons, and Xion runs away. Over top of this, we hear the disembodied voice of Riku shouting that Sora needs to wake up.
Oh, cool.
Sora runs off after Xion, but at the bridge to the castle of the world that never was, he runs into our boy Roxas. He's back. Who tells him that it could have been the other way the whole time. It could have been him living out this life. Sora never had to wake up, but Roxas accepted that it really did need to be Sora. He has so many hearts connected to him.
So this can't be just Sora's dream. Or, well, I suppose they're visions that could be being fed to him, because Sora has no fucking idea who Roxas is, really. Like, in his waking mind, he's got no memory of him to form, so...
But keep in mind that within the heart, memories live on.
It's like almost a subconscious...
So...
Okay.
Subconsciously, because keep in mind, all the way back in Chain of Memories, when Vexen pulled the card of Twilight Town from the other side of Sora's heart, because he was simultaneously somehow having the memories of Roxas.
I can't believe how both convoluted yet bizarrely clever this is. Like, the whole concept that Chain of Memories now matters, like, really matters to the...
This is the whole thing, is like, yes, it's all retcons, but they're weirdly cleverly written retcons.
Yeah.
Where things somehow still work. I
love it.
Sora's like, no, you have the right to be your own person. You don't have to be a part of me. You can be your own person. But, of course, Roxas is like, see, even the fact that you think that is why it needs to be you. I don't want people to be happy. I want myself. You want people to be happy. Clearly, it's got to be you.
Cool.
And in this moment, Roxas gives Sora all of his memories of his time at the organization. So Sora is now very consciously aware of every second of Roxas' life.
Oh my god.
They all flow into him, causing Sora to feel just all of the fucking pain of 358 over 2 days all at once.
Sora just starts screaming.
He does. He literally does. Yeah, he literally starts screaming.
I'm lactose intolerant.
As we see him flash back into his Dream Drop Distance kitty clothes, where he looks up at the castle asking if they, presumably the organization, caused all that pain that he's just felt. And questioning what they want him to see in this weird flash of people that he's seeing. Over top of this, we hear Riku's voice again, telling Sora not to chase the dreams, and that they're only going to lead him into an abyss he's never going to be able to wake up from.
Okay, so they're just trying to remove him from the equation by driving him mad, basically.
Not drive him mad.
Right.
we'll get there.
Okay.
But you mentioned Inception earlier, like in the way that you could get stuck in an Inception dream.
Essentially, we are getting deeper into sleep.
Right, okay.
We are getting deeper and deeper into sleep to the point where potentially Sora might not be able to wake up. Because Sora's a very sleepy boy and he loves getting into moments where he can't fucking wake up.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So, back in his Kingdom Hearts 2 close, Sora chases on where he finds Riku and Kairi. But as he reaches out to them, their forms shift into Terra and Aqua. They call him Ven as his form shifts into Ven very briefly before they all shift back into themselves and walk away. Sora runs after them, and as he's running after them, we hear again Riku. And we don't know if Sora doesn't hear this or if he's ignoring it, but we hear Riku pleading with Sora not to chase them and to wake up. Sora runs through a white light, which definitely isn't ominous. And for some reason recalls his memories of meeting Aqua all those years ago at the beach on Destiny Islands. Before, for some reason, her image fades. It dissolves into Ansem. Sora lands back in the world that never was at the feet of Xigbar, who says that it wasn't easy putting Sora into a second sleep, and that Riku almost woke him up. He's in a dream within a dream.
Oh. He's
Inceptioned. I've never seen Inception. I don't. Tell me if I'm wrong. Sora asks if they put those memories in his head, but Sigmar's like, nah, fam, we don't have the power to do that. They don't got a nominee anymore. They don't got their little nominee switch army knife that can put memories in his head. But he's like, ask your heart if it has a clue. Which causes the conversation to shift over to hearts. And Sora's like, yo, I don't actually think that nobodies don't have hearts. Because, have you seen 358 over 2 days? They've got a shit ton of emotions.
Yeah, Sora had a bit of a change of heart, from Kingdom Hearts 2.
I know. He was so, like, I don't think racist is the right word, but yeah, everybody was really, like, cruel to nobodies for no reason. But he's like, yo, they have a lot of emotions, and you need a heart to cry. And Xigbar's like, well, it's about time you noticed. So Xemnas appears, telling him that hearts are never truly lost for good. And even after becoming nobodies, you're able to form the beginnings of a new heart that will grow on the basis of the old one.
Okay, so that's the explanation of why Axel and Roxas start to explore their emotions in 358 days.
Yeah, is because it's... So essentially, Xemnas goes on to say that their experience with the Heartless, back in Ansem's lab, were an attempt to control the mind and convince it to renounce its sense of self. But whilst you can banish the heart from the body, bodies don't like not having a heart, and they're going to try and replace it. Whether that's, trying to steal somebody else's or literally just growing a new one.
Sure.
Yeah, they don't like being empty vessels, man. So
that screams retcon, but I like it.
See, it does, but when you put it in the context of how many emotions everybody had, even as back as KH2, hell, even as far back as Chain of Memories, it, again, vaguely, like, I don't know if clever is the right word, but it works. It works in the overall. But because of this, Xemnas knew that even after being divided, it was just a temporary separation. Everything will have a heart again. Everything needs a heart. So Sora asks why he told the organizations, why did Xemnas convince everybody else in the organization they didn't have hearts? If Xemnas is so big brain, he's like, oh, we're all just going to grow hearts. Why they want a Kingdom Hearts?
Oh my god.
Why'd we fucking grow a Kingdom Hearts if everybody's going to grow a Kingdom Hearts anyway?
Why did Kingdom Hearts 2 happen?
It's becoming more and more clear.
See, Xigbar
didn't need to.
Xigbar's like, well, here's the thing, that wasn't actually the organization's mission. Kingdom Hearts 2 was a lie. Kingdom Hearts 2 is all a lie.
Why?
We didn't want hearts. Well, maybe the lower grunties wanted hearts, but us at the top, we had a different mission. What we really wanted was a bunch of husks. We wanted to take husks devoid of hearts, hook them up to Kingdom Hearts, and then fill them with the exact same heart and mind. They wanted 13 Xehanorts, baby!
What the fuck? Okay. Husks, as in we're talking the original, the Organization 13 members from Chain of Memories and stuff.
Because they didn't have hearts, they're like, oh, if we get Kingdom Hearts, we can just fill you all with a Xehanort heart.
Okay, I want to know...
I thought the members weren't husks, they're nobodies.
But whilst they would grow a heart, they didn't have hearts at the time.
So including Xigbar was in this plan to turn himself into a Xehanort.
Oh, I'm getting there. He doesn't care, man. He does not care. He's here for it.
What is this guy's motivation?
I respect it.
Xigbar's totally chill with it. He's like, yeah. Didn't you know he's been half Xehanort this whole time? As he reveals his yellow eye.
Why was he
Everybody in the series who has had a yellow eye or pointy ears is connected to Xehanort in the way that they are all connected to his heart and are him.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, so who else has that?
Pointy ears and yellow eyes.
Why, how are they half? How is he specifically half Xehanort?
Well, it's not just him.
Yeah, I know. No, I understand.
But how did he get to this point? Because he was Braig before, and we saw him as Braig. Was he Xehanort Braig back in Birth by Sleep?
No. In Birth by Sleep, he was just Braig.
Okay.
Birth by Sleep, he was just Braig, and he was working with actual Xehanorts.
So when did this happen?
Probably after. Remember, at the very start of this game, he recompleted into Braig, and then Xehanort woke up to him right next to him, and he's like, "No, fuck you, you're a nobody again." He poked him in the tummy with his keyblade.
So what?
Probably
so what is he?
He's
a nobody with half of a Xehanort heart.
Technically, in the nomenclature, yes, he is still considered a nobody, but he does have a heart. It's Xehanort's heart. It's confusing.
So, but he's not yet.
He's essentially a nobody that's possessed by somebody else's heart, but he still holds. His personality is kind of a half mesh of his own and Xehanort's at this point.
Who's in control? Does he have free will? If he decided tomorrow, he could fuck off. He could betray Xehanort.
I feel like Xehanort could probably overpower him, but as of right now, he's letting Xigbar.
So he's kind of like...
That's how I read it.
It's kind of like the Terranort idea?
No, because Terranort definitely didn't have control. It's the same idea in terms of the possession and the shoving his heart in somebody else.
Right.
But it is not the same in that Terranort did not have control. Xehanort was fully in control there. Pretty much imply that because Xigbar's, going along with his plan anyway, he's like, you can have your free will. Sure. I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of Nort in you as the verbiage of the fandom is Xehanort Norts people, which is the term for Xehanort possessing people.
Wait, like he got Norted?
Yeah, you get Norted. You get Norted.
I like that. That's good.
Amazing.
Xehanort Norts you. So,
hey man, what the fuck happened to your ears?
But
Norted.
But Xemnas follows on saying that most of the original organization, they were a bit shit. They weren't good hosts. Don't know why he got them in the first place. Throw them out with yesterday's trash. They needed some new ones. And Sora's like, what? So you're just using them all as storage containers? What the fuck, bro? My ties with others are what makes me strong.
My friends are my power. Does he say the line?
So Xigbar continues on. He's like, well, duh. Why would the Keyblade choose a wimp like you? And he's like, yo, Sora, just join our side. Join the dark side, man. We've got cookies. Join the dark side. We got the good shit. We can Nort you a little, sprinkle a bit. It's very nice over here. But Sora's like, oh, I know the Keyblade didn't choose me. I mean, it did choose it. He says it didn't choose him. It literally...
It just didn't initially choose
yeah.
him.
He's like, I know... We can take this. I know that I'm not meant to have the Keyblade. Mm-hmm. But I don't care. Because I'm proud to be a small part of something bigger. The people it did choose. My friends are my power!
Wait, holy shit. Oh my god.
As-
Everybody.
That's fucking awesome.
It's not actually everybody, it's like memory, everybody appearing, but they don't fight or anything. They're just kind of...
Cool.
Good enough.
It's just a cool visual of all his friends who are like connected to his heart appearing.
Yeah.
Look, we even get like Kyra the Keyblade.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I love it. Great image.
Yeah, very cool.
Cue a Xemnas fight.
Cool.
So, post-fight, young Xehanort appears. He's like, you think you won? Think you won, bro? Bro, you lost since the second you dived this far in, man. You're all the way at the fucking pit of slumber. You're never gonna wake up, man. You weren't even following the sleeping keyholes. Those weren't real sleeping keyholes. They were my keyholes that I, like, just put there. You're just stupid and don't know the fucking difference, man.
Why are they just showing up to mock this child? If they've won,
Bro, try and recruit him as well.
they've won.
Dialogue in this game is so... I'm convinced it was written by somebody else because it's so bizarrely sassy.
Oh, I love it.
Everybody is so sassy in this game. Both Sora and Riku have no time for the organization shit. They're constantly like, why the fuck are you still here? Haven't I dealt with you about 30 times at this point? They're so sassy. They're little shits. I love them. Getting into my single favorite part of the series.
Okay.
So, remember how, back in Symphony of Sorcery, Sora was like, bro, or the grid, one of the two, Sora was like, bro, how the fuck do you keep finding me? Like, I'm going through all these fucking sleeping worlds. Are you stalking me, or how the fuck do you know I'm here? To which young Xehanort tells him, yo, you haven't even, like, looked at your fit? You haven't looked at your clothes, man? You haven't noticed that, we put a little nice X on you? That sigil?
What the fuck?
This is, welcome to my single favorite little factoid of the Kingdom Hearts series. This is the Recusant Sigil.
Right?
It is a sigil in the shape of the Greek letter key that Xehanort made from his lingering memories of the keyblade that he uses to mark his best friends, hence all the X names, and it lets him both track and control them.
So just because he put
So
an
because
X
he
on his
put a little X on his t-shirt, he's known where he was the whole time.
It's at the risk of once again comparing this bullshit to Harry Potter. It's like in Deathly Hallows, where if you say Voldemort's name, they know where you are. That's all this is. Look, it's cooler than that.
I hope Sora just thinks, fine, takes off the shirt.
The real question then, if you took off the shirt, like, would they be like, they'd like find it in like a dumpster in Traverse Town and go, oh shit, where'd he go?
Is this why Mickey's shirtless at the end of KH1? Does he also get marked?
We will get there.
Okay.
We will get there. I'm glad you've remembered that.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that is locked in your brain.
Every game I'm looking for clues, man.
But yeah, so Recusant Sigil.
Sure.
It's my favorite thing from the series.
So
It's why it's one of my favorite ones. I love this game. It's just so off the fucking rails the whole time.
Kingdom Hearts can't get more bizarre. It somehow surprises you. Next.
So young Xehanort continues that they've been stalking him because they need him. Or, more accurately, what's left of him. Sora is the 13th Dark Vessel.
He's got a heart. It's full of hearts.
No,
Too many hearts.
that's the point, though. That's why they've been putting him deeper and deeper and deeper into sleep, because his heart is essentially non-existent anymore. It's like it's like been like put in like a vacuum seal bag that's been put inside a vacuum seal bag, put inside a vacuum seal bag. It's like minuscule. You can shove another heart in there and it takes over fucking lickety split. He does continue to expound upon the rules of time travel in this world, saying that whilst you can move through time, time can't actually be changed. So Sora this whole time has been following a destined path to get him here, and to help Xehanort gather his 12 selves and welcome Sora as their last vessel.
Okay.
It's all been part of the master plan of the cunning Master Xehanort.
Sure, man.
I mean, we haven't seen time be changed, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly, man. When was time changed?
Yeah.
I'm shocked that we haven't seen old Xehanort yet. That he hasn't somehow managed to pap himself into this game through time travel shenanigans. Considering he's like...
He's around, you know.
Oh, okay.
He's wandering. He's busy. He's busy looking at the moon.
Sure.
The real Kingdom Hearts moon. So young Xehanort's like, yo, that's it, man. I don't know anything else. You know everything I know. We on the same page, and it's now my turn to go home. I'm going home. I'm outie. I gotta go turn into old man Xehanort. So I gotta go back to the beach, learn how to use my keyblade, and do my own adventure, which will be in its own mobile game later. So he's gonna go home so that he can turn into the actual Xehanort that's gonna one day come back and start it all over again, start the time loop. But to be flawlessly convenient to plot, reversing to his own time is going to erase the memories and experience he's gained traveling through time. So essentially, he's going to go back to Destiny Island as if none of this happened.
Sure, time travel rules, no problem.
Which, yeah, that's fairly standard for time travel rules, fair enough. Which I've written is a very convenient way for writers to introduce time travel without messing up their prior games.
Yeah.
Which means that, presumably, if the others also go back to their time, they're doing things of their own volition. They're not doing things because of time travel plot.
Yeah.
We can assume that whatever Xehanort is at the very end of this timeline, he probably knows all of it, but yada yada. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go home. You have a little nap, and he snaps his fingers. Sora goes back to sleep. Meanwhile, we see Sora's actual body on the 13th throne in the throne room.
Okay.
So that was Sora in his dream. This is Sora in the first dream. That was dream to dream Sora. Now we're in just a dream Sora. And he's on the throne. Or maybe he's not in a dream. Who the fuck knows, man? I don't question it. So in the darkness of slumber, so they're deep in the slumber, Ven's heart shows up and it reunites with Sora, shielding him in Ven's keyblade armor. And it lies Sora nice and safe on his glass pedestal. And we're able to see that above him there's still a pinpoint of light. So he's not fully in the darkness of slumber. There's a hope in the distance, but he's being protected deep in here by Ventus's armor. So, finally, Riku also arrives in the world that never was. And he's also like, bruh, I did 7 whole fucking keyholes. Where's Mickey? I want my bestie. I want my boyfriend. But it's wondering later, he finds Sora's body, and it's in like a bubble, just kind of in the middle of a courtyard for some fucking reason. You know, as it does. And he's like trying to wake him up, which is all of that, you know, audio of Riku we heard before, where he's like shouting at Sora like, "Don't go into the dream, man. You fucked up. Come wake up." But the shadows accumulate, coming out of him as a robed nightmare comes. And it's just a robey, but with cool, like, symbols. I don't know. It's a boss battle.
Sure.
I don't fucking know. Now, obviously, Sora doesn't wake up. And Riku's like, "No, man, wake up. You're my best friend, man." And then Sora just kind of blips. He probably has to go sit on his throne.
Well, he just disappears.
He just teleports away.
Fucking hell, alright.
Somebody teleported him. He probably needs to go sit on his throne or something. I don't know. The world around Riku shifts. And Riku's like, "Yo, Sora, why don't you wake up, man? Are you still in the nightmare?" And Ansem shows up. And he's like, "Yeah, man, he is. Sora's not waking the fuck up. No matter how many nightmares, Riku, you consumed, dreams hold our memories. Sleep holds our dreams. And darkness holds our sleep." Gasp.
Which Ansem is this?
This is Seeker of Darkness, the one that always loves to fucking mess with Riku. If it's ever a Riku thing, it's probably Ansem they're sending after him just to fuck with him. Ansem's like, yo, Riku, why ain't you back? You know, are you in a dream? Are you in a dream? A dream within a dream? A twofold nightmare. Ooh, double nightmares. To which he explains that this whole time, Riku has, this whole game, Riku's been in a dream within a dream. Because this whole game, Riku's been within Sora's dreams, whilst Sora was in the dreams of the sleeping worlds.
Wait, why could Yensid see Riku and not Sora then?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So Sora has been in dream, and Riku
Has been in Sora's
in
dream.
dream in Sora's dream.
Yes.
Right.
Next.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now only a darkness within darkness is going to await him, because darkness, Riku, darkness. In the darkness, Ansem tells Riku how before they set out, of course, Riku looked up and he saw brown Roby Ansem above the water, which subconsciously made Riku go, something ain't right. Something ain't right here. And subconsciously, instead of putting himself into the sleeping world, he unlocked Sora's dreams and went inside Sora's dream, becoming a Dream Eater to protect Sora from the nightmares, as represented by the Dream Eater sigil that has been on the back of Riku's jacket the whole game.
You told me that was just a symbol and didn't matter.
Because of course I'm not going to tell you the fucking end of the game spoilers, you dick.
He's not doing a very good job of protecting him from nightmares so far, is he?
No, he's done a pretty shit job of it, to be honest.
So Riku's a Dream Eater, man. He's just like all the little fun, bubbly Pokemon. I'm going to throw my Master Ball at Riku. He's a legendary Pokemon. So Ansem's like, yo, Riku, you fucked up, man. But, yep, hear me out here, man. If you come snort a little bit of that darkness, you might still be able to rescue Sora.
Snort the Nort.
No. He's not saying to Nort. He's like,
Yeah,
darkness. You're an addict. You want some more darkness? To have a little darkness?
Darkness, Keyblade's heart.
Darkness, Keyblade's hearts. Memories, dreams. So Riku's like, Xehanort, he was once a Keyblade wielder, but darkness stole his heart and his Keyblade. And Riku has been on this whole journey, like introspectively, Riku has been on this whole journey to see for himself if he's fit to wield the Keyblade. He's like, I have a Keyblade, but am I worthy of this Keyblade? I had darkness in my heart, man. Am I allowed to have a Keyblade if I had darkness?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%
in his Terra parallels.
There's
Yes,
like loads of
his
darkness
Terrorels.
people who wield Keyblades.
100%. Yeah, we've been establishing this for
over.
over 7 games.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
keep
don't worry
in
about it. I
mind,
thought you already
he's-
you were walking the road to Twilight and then you were wielding Dawn.
He's in, his whole like, oh, Keyblade wielder's the good guy, and I'm not necessarily a good guy. I'm like a middle guy.
Sure, man.
I'm a middle of the road guy, my dude. And he's like, even after locking Ansem away, why the fuck are you still here? I locked you in prison. You're in my heart. Why are you still here? Stop time traveling just to come be a dick to me.
I wouldn't tell the time traveling dude. I know memories, your memories might fade when you go back to your different times. I wouldn't be telling the time traveling dude how you beat him and where you ended up putting him.
Ansem's got like a weird obsession with Riku, I find.
He really does.
Like by this point, it's overstayed its welcome. Like, what is it? Like, you're like a son to me,
You're not fully wrong at this point. It's like Sora gets 12 villains, Riku gets Ansem.
Does it seem like a bit of a waste of time on Ansem's part at this point? How many man hours has he dedicated to this? With very little reward.
Why aren't you collecting husks? Ansem's like, I've got this kid.
There's a boy with darkness in his heart.
I've got this
Get
kid.
the husks, motherfucker!
I've got this kid. He's darkness immune, so we can't actually control him. But maybe if I tempt him a little harder.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So Riku continues looking at Ansem, and looking at Ansem reminds him of the memory of Terra telling him of the outside world. And of Terra putting the thought in his head and fucking starting this whole series in the first place, Terra, you piece of shit.
Nah, good guy, Terra.
And he's like, Just like Terra told me, I'm going to the outside world, the real world, so I can be with my best friend Sora. I'm going to consume the darkness and return it to the light. And they battle.
Cool. Who wins?
Oh, I wonder. It's probably Ansem. Ansem's got a really good track record against Riku. He's got a phenomenal track record
It's
against
the other thing if you're ransom, like just the again.
Why does a child keep
going
beating
back
you
to
up?
the self-esteem? Comes around the corner, bloody, saying, "Oh, it's like, were you with the kid?" No, I was doing husk stuff. I was doing husk stuff.
So you beat him up. It fades away. Before it fades away, of course, we gotta get a little glimpse of the dark figure, which is the last thing to fade away. A little lingering Terra. And then he comes out of this one dream and ends up in the world that never was. But he's like, I still got my Dream Eater powers. Why the fuck I still got my Dream Eater powers, man? Am I still in a dream? I got out of one dream, now I'm still in another dream. We got one layer. So he was in. So remember, Sora was in a dream, and then Riku was in Sora's dream, but then Sora went into another dream, so Riku went into a third dream. So he's now back in the first Sora dream that he was in before.
Yep.
So he's like 2 layers deep in dreams, whereas Sora's like 3 layers deep. So he takes every Pokeball out of his backpack, lets all the Dream Eaters out, and they help him enter the castle. They build him a nice bridge where he finds the throne room with Sora. But young Xehanort's waiting for him. 13 Xehanorts? What? And that originally Riku was meant to be the 13th vessel.
Oh no.
But he's gotten...
That's twice.
But because Ansem kept fucking trying to shove darkness at him, he built up like a resistance to it. So now they can't use him anymore.
So Sora is back up to Riku twice already in this series.
So just like the Keyblade, they moved down the list to Sora.
Love it.
Well, but not really. They next tried Roxas. And they're like, oh, Roxas can be our vessel. But of course, Roxas became self-aware that he was a puppet. And then they're like, fuck it, fine, we'll use Sora, I guess. Sora time. So Sora's 13th vessel, and they also reveal their new name. They're the Real Organization 13. The real one, as they all teleport down into their chairs.
I need a little TM next to that, please. A little copyright symbol. Yeah.
I'm really upset that the real isn't in all caps like it is in my notes.
Which one of them had to do?
Which one of them had to do the paperwork on the sort of company name change and all the...
You know, as a letter that actually turns into Trot. T-R-O-T. Trot. We are Trot. What a shit name.
No, because it's Roman numerals, so it's Trox.
Oh.
Or if we want to put it French, it's Tra.
Oh.
So, of course, now he explains his goals, and he's like, I'm the only Xehanort. I'm the Xehanort before our Destiny Islands, yada yada. And he reiterates and expounds again upon the rules of time travel, so you must leave your body behind. There must be a version of you at your destination upon arrival. This is now the new stuff. Upon arrival, you can only move forward in time. So you can't go back further.
Oh.
You go back once, and then you just gotta go forward. You also, of course, can't change time. Destiny is predetermined. Nobody has free will. You're all on a set path.
Yeah, you were always there.
There's no variance. This is not...
You had always travelled in time.
Yeah, so this it's all...
Nothing matters, Goofy. Reset the VHS tape. Yeah, we get you.
And he tells Riku that his most future self is going to arrive soon. Ooh. And as he does, time is going to return to normal for everybody else, and everybody else is going to go back in time. To set their own respective parts of the timeline in motion. So they're only here briefly. They're here for a brief plan, and if it doesn't work, I'll try again later, maybe. So before anything can happen, though, Mickey finally fucking shows up, and he uses his stops a fucking time freeze spell that he has.
That would have been useful the entire game.
I think you didn't save Goofy when a rock fell on his head.
I think he did use this one prior time in the series, and I forget where it was. But yeah, Mickey just has the power to fucking freeze time.
Sure, man. Explains the VHS tapes, the worlds, the Disney worlds. Oh, I'm done with you for today. Freeze.
And it's like very selective because it's frozen for everybody but Riku. And he's like, Riku, grab the boy! Grab the fucking Nort sausage!
Can you imagine Sorry, can you just imagine Belle and the Beast, right? And they're about to do their kiss, and Mickey's like, oh, watching from a balcony. He's like, I'm bored now. And she's like, no, please, don't do it. Please don't leave me like this.
Do you want to keep living or do you want into the vault? I'll send you to the vault, motherfucker! Young Xehanort's way too powerful for fucking time magic, though, and he's like, no, fuck you, I'm free from time. Fuck off, Mickey. And he encompasses Riku for a battle with his Time Keyblade.
Time Keyblade is cooler than Xehanort's.
It's got I disagree, but it's got clocks and it has a time keychain.
Love it.
It's a cool Keyblade. I like this Keyblade. Yeah. But anyhow, dope ass Keyblade, and you kick his ass.
Cool.
To which time stops as our best boy finally appears on his central throne.
Oh, hello.
Old Daddy is home. Dad's finally got the milk and cigarettes.
Well, you just made old Xehanort weirder.
So he explains that once upon a time...
Oh, he's got his plan. Can we skip ahead of this?
No, of
It's the
course
fourth time I've had time travel explained to me.
Once upon a time.
He created his own pure light and darkness to make them clash, creating the Keyblade, which of course we know is Ven Vanitas. It was a failure. So it's kind of shit. And that actually, it was incomplete. He's like, I took some shortcuts. That's not, I took some shortcuts. I thought I could fudge the rules a bit, and I made an incomplete Keyblade. That's why it broke so easily when, Aqua used the power of friendship and slashed it a little bit.
Yeah. And Aqua
But
breathed on it.
he's like, this time, I'm gonna do it right. We got this. So, in Kingdom Hearts 1, because keep in mind, what did Yensid tell us happened to the Keyblade at the end of the Keyblade War?
It shattered into 20 pieces.
Into 20 pieces. 7 of Light and 13 of Dark. So in Kingdom Hearts 1, he recruited Maleficent to gather him 7 hearts of pure light. And in Kingdom Hearts 2, he used Xemnas to gather 13 vessels that he would fill with his pure darkness. But, of course, both attempts failed because of fucking Sora. But he's like, I still got plans. I've got like a whole binder of plans. They're labeled A to Z.
We're on Plan X.
No, we're on Plan Key.
Oh.
So both failed, but he's like, I'm still gonna do it. So, new plan. 7 Guardians of Light and 13 Seekers of Darkness. That's my Shadow Council here. That's the Illuminati, you see.
Cool.
Because previously it was 1-on-1. Why is it now almost a 2-to-1 ratio of light and dark?
So that's the thing. 1-on-1, he took shortcuts. He's like, I just need to clash some light and dark. That's all I have to do.
But this is the exact formula.
This is the exact formula.
Is 13-7.
He's being scientific about
Right,
this.
okay.
Basically so that Nomura can give us our 7 heroes that we've met. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've met like minimum 9 if we don't count Disney characters.
Good point. Yeah, the 3 trios alone.
The 3 trios alone, I maybe Duple will get a Keyblade. Just one to share between the 2 of them. They can fuse into a Mechazoid. So Mickey's sitting there and he's like, 7 Guardians of Light. Well, there's me, Riku, Sora, the Wayfinder trio. And then we need 1 more to 7. 3 of us, Wayfinder trio. That's 6. We need 7. But organization. That's 13. Oh shit! I know your plan. It's like, you're so clever, Mickey.
Yeah.
You're so good at this.
Classic Mickey to include himself in the 7 Guardians of Light.
But
Big Ed Mickey.
Xehanort's like, are you forgetting that both Sora and Terra are on my side? So yeah, you're like 3 short. You only got 4 people.
And what, you've got 14? Like,
Well, he's got backups.
Once again, Organization 13 does not have 13 members.
He has back. He's got like the main
They've even
stringers.
renamed it. They even renamed it.
He's got like the main stringers. He's got the starters.
Gone for like make it a bit of a broader range, like organization mid-teens. High tens to mid-teens.
But whilst they're 3 short, they're destined to appear so the 7 and 13 can clash. But first, he pulls out his keyblade to Nort Sora, and he shoots a blast of Norty goodness darkness at little sleeping Sora boy. But just in time, it's stopped by a blast of fire. Mickey shouts, "He made it!" And Xemnas is all, "You as Lee appear!" Woo!
Where is our Lee game?
He's here. You're at 358. It's close enough. Lee's always going to be there to get his friends back, even if they're trapped inside this bizarre child's boy. One of the hooded robes, because remember, the only ones that are unhooded are the ones we know who they are. Rest are still hooded. One of them jumps up and he's gonna fight Lee, and his hood blows back, and it's the missing Isa the whole time, who's Syax, who's his childhood friend.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
Who remember was missing when they all reformed.
Cool.
Xemnas summons the dark figure, which grabs Riku and Mickey. But then Dupe will come in on Yensid's fucking Star Shard from the last game.
Oh,
How can those fucks use the Star Shard now?
No. Remember, you can't use it. It has a will of its own, and you kind of just grab it and go, "Take me somewhere, please," and it goes, "There."
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And sometimes you get lucky.
So Sora's friends are his power.
No.
Oh.
100% of it. He's useless on his own.
Yeah.
He's useless.
Sleeping the whole time.
He's having a nap. And Xehanort's like, "Blast it, I messed up and time is running out," as the organization members are fading. Because remember, young Xehanort's like, "Oh, once daddy shows up, we all gotta go back to our own time."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But don't worry, we're fated to meet, and one day the 7 and the 13 are going to come, and it's nigh, and ha, we're going to meet at the fated place."
The Keyblade Graveyard!
Probably!
Yes!
Gotta relive that birth by sleep. So they all disappears, and the good guys, which is weird because they all disappear. Xehanort, this should be like actual Master Xehanort's own time. Now I'm very glad that you've not brought up the question, which I feel obligated to bring up just for it to mull about.
Purpose. Okay.
Oh no, we got a question. When they recompleted, why is Master Xehanort not Terranort?
Yeah.
Why is he You can argue about that in the comments. Because frankly, I don't like any of the answers that Nomura has given. So they go back, and Sora's still having a nap.
Cool.
And Yensid's like, that might not actually be sleep. He might be fucked, man. And he goes on to tell them that the power that they were meant to develop over the course of the journey. Remember that he gave them like a really hard version of the exam.
Yeah. So
they developed this power, and it's the power to wake up a heart from its sleep, and it's called the power of waking. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Now, because Riku had been awaking keyholes in Sora's dream this whole time, he should be very familiar with Sora's dreaming state, and he's like, "You're pretty good at this whole power of waking thing, and you know Sora pretty well. You can probably go wake up Sora's heart. Go do it." So Riku needs to dive into Sora's heart to awaken it. Of course, because he's, the best candidate, yada yada, as well as his resistance to the darkness, because sleep isn't darkness itself, but it's very tangential. And when you are in sleep, you are kind of encroaching upon the realm of darkness. So him being resistant to the darkness will stop him from the stronger temptations while he's in the sleep. So he opens a portal, clouded in darkness, and dives into Sora's heart. Gasp. Now within Sora's heart, he encounters Ven's armor, but it's now become covered in inky blackness. Gasp. He fights it, and it releases Sora, who falls still into the darkness. leaving Riku alone on Sora's heart platform with Sora's keyblade, which has just been left there. Riku picks it up and just kind of fucking is like, all right, cool. Unlocks Sora's heart.
Yes.
And arrives on the sleeping memory of Destiny Island, because of course we need more Destiny Island!
Always.
Here, he walks around where he finds Roxas, Ven, and Shion, probably memories within Sora's heart. They each ask him questions. He answers them all. It's stuff about like, what is your friendship and yada yada, and how's your heart? Before ultimately he finds a message in a bottle at the water's edge. And behind him we hear the smooth, salted caramel ice cream tones of Christopher Lee. As from behind him, it's Ansem the Wise, baby!
I am Ansem the Wise.
But this isn't actually Ansem the Wise.
Of course.
So before Ansem died, because Ansem is dead, he did explode in Kingdom Hearts 2. He digitized himself and his research, and he crammed it in Sora's heart.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you? Best place to keep it.
Is there any room in there for anything else?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think he knew that at the time. I think he's like, oh, that's probably empty. This is a stupid child. And he's like, I experimented with a lot of children. My research can probably help more children, so I'm going to shove it in a child.
Sure.
He wants to atone.
So the answer is data. At last, it's data. Love it.
It's all data.
Data.
He continues on that Sora's special, because in at least the history that we know of in Kingdom Hearts, he's the only person who's been able to return to their human form without destroying their nobody. Which, and some reasons, is testament for his love of others.
Sure.
Yeah, you know? And that perhaps Sora has the power to reawaken or bring back into existence those with bonds to him that we thought were lost forever. And that when his heart when he sees a heart in something, that heart becomes real. Through the power of love and friendship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very accepting of that.
I am. That is great. I love that. I love friendship is magic is just a rule. Let's go with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've got no questions.
Good. So, which of course, it's back to just reiterating what Roxas said earlier. He's like, you find these connections with hearts. Your whole thing's about finding connections and boosting the power of others.
Yeah.
You know, you're the good one. But he's like, oh, maybe we can bring back Roxas, though. We can teach him how to have friends and eat ice cream. And he's like, Sora has touched many hearts, and not all of them have left him, whether they fell into the darkness of Sora's heart or were welcomed into his light. And that Sora probably has the power to bring them back. Which is kind of revealing to Riku that there's more fucking shit in his heart. And then Ansem's like, by the way, why the fuck are you here? Who are you?
After the monologue. That's what I do to everyone I meet. Describe my life, my failures, my hopes and dreams. By the way, do I know you?
And Riku's like, well, I gotta wake Sora up. And they're like, oh, that sleepyhead, he's sleeping again.
Sora,
ha 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 ha.
you sleepy bum.
Sora, you sleepyhead.
Oh.
Ha 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 ha. And then Ansem's like, Sora's fine, man. He's been fine since you beat the Dark Armor. You unlocked his heart a while. He's been awake for a while, man.
You sat through this 30-minute Christopher Lee monologue for no reason.
He's like, yeah, you can go home. So Riku's like, oh shit, man. Okay, and he unlocks a keyhole to go home.
Roll credits?
Of course we don't roll credits. What kind of a game do you think this is? It's finale time.
It's not the finale.
We just had...
We just had what sounded like a finale.
Riku wakes up and Sora is having a tea party. Calm down, Sora. Eat your fucking tea.
Sora's like, what the fuck happened? I stayed or I was here. There were 13 of them.
He's literally just chilling. He's having a tea party with Double. Where'd they get this tea party from? Why does their cake have a crown?
Sure.
Mickey. That stinks of Mickey.
Riku's in the fucking background like, the fuck is happening?
His face is amazing.
Much huzzah and hugs are shared.
Sure.
To which we finally get to the question that should be on everybody's mind. This was a test the whole time. Did we fucking pass?
Yes.
And Yensid's like, y'all did good. But hot damn, Sora, you fucked up.
What?
You fucked up major. You almost become a Xehanort, but Riku, you a sexy little master. Sora, get good. Riku is the new Keyblade master.
What the fuck?
Riku's a Keyblade master!
And Sora's not.
Good for Riku. Massive good
Yeah,
for
Riku
Riku.
deserves
Definitely
it,
earned
yeah.
it. Sora also earned it. Sora went through a time travel with a fucking evil god man who's time traveling.
What did Sora actually do besides not know that he wasn't even taking his test anymore?
Kick Xehanort's ass like 5 times. Fuck that shit. It's better than Balls of Light, I'll tell you that much.
I know, you used to give this shit out.
Remember that it's not a test of strength, it's all a test of heart, and if Sora couldn't tell that his heart was going astray the whole time, does he really have control over his heart?
I just feel like Yensid could teach them. Presumably, then Yensid
They
could
don't have
do it.
time, man! The big bad's here!
You had time to do all this shit, you surely just tell them.
And we're not gonna think about the fact that he has a time cube!
It's the worst. Oh my god, they could have gone in the hyperbolic time chamber.
They could have gotten the time cube!
I hate him. He's the worst kind of fantasy wizard.
He is.
Oh, you failed
It's
for...
Mike Trap!
I'm so...
It's Mike Trap!
Unscrupulous reasons and
But,
What does Sora say to that? Does he just like punch
I
him?
mean, man,
I quit. I quit.
unlike Terra, Sora's a fucking good boy, and he's like, oh my god, congrats, buddy! Oh, I'm such a little goober. I messed up, and Goofy and Donald come over, and they're like, "You fuck what? You fucked up." And he's like, "I did. Ha ha ha. Maybe next time."
Donald's like, to clarify, you're not going to have a keyblade? Is that... There's keyblades are off the table now?
No more key?
Good for Sora, right? Obviously, what a lad for being happy, just happy for his friend.
Yeah,
but fuck this whole situation.
By the way, keep in mind, Lee's been off on the side of the room this whole time. Remember, Lee came back with him, so Lee's just kind of been chilling in the corner of the tea. He's been eating his cupcake, sipping his little tea in the corner, and he's like, oh, man, good job, man. I'm going to catch up in no time. And Sora's like, you want to be a Keyblade master? Where's your fucking Keyblade, man? And Lee's like, oh, yeah, bitch. That's why I fucking came here, to learn how to use a Keyblade. That was his mouthed words earlier, where everybody's like, what? Because Yensid's like, yeah, fuck, I'll teach you a Keyblade. And they're like, but he's a baddie. And he's like, nah, fuck it.
I'll teach you and make you a Keyblade. That sounds like not an arduous process, but we definitely don't have time, Sora, to teach you the power of waking. Which, if we did, would literally just bring out Roxas, Ven, and Ansem the Wise now, I guess, who could all help in the battle against Xehanort. But surely, here's a
I think
Keyblade.
Yensid is my most hated character in this
Agreed.
franchise.
One
Even after all the
1,000,000%.
lovely images of him I supplied in this PowerPoint?
I can see you tried your best to assuage my feelings for Yensid, but...
Yeah, I think I hate Yensid more than I hate Donald Duck, and that is saying quite a lot. And Mickey.
It's all the characters in the same shade of wizardy blue.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's that wizardy blue, it does something to him.
Yensid sucks, man. Fuck Yensid.
He's I mean, let's be honest, he's modeled after Disney, and Disney wasn't a great guy.
No.
So, but Lee's like, yo, of course I'm here to be a fucking Keyblade master, man. I was gonna come swooping, and I was gonna save you with a Keyblade, but, like, I couldn't get my Keyblade to materialize, you know? He's still back in that early phase where you gotta do it with, like, a wooden Keyblade. But, of course, the second he does that, he fucking makes a Keyblade. And look, it looks like his chakrams, and it has, like, a fire theme.
like
That's
it.
cool.
And everybody, including Yensid's like, wow! I like Sora and Riku's faces.
Donald looks hungry.
Donald sees the fucking key!
Sora's like, I'm still a good boy. I'm happy for Riku. But I need some alone time, man. Gotta go have a nap. Which definitely wasn't a bad thing when Terra said the same thing when he lost his exam.
Yeah. Oh, so he's napped enough.
Well, so of course, like he's like, I need a nap. I'm gonna go back to the sleeping worlds. Bye. And he unlocks a keyhole to go back to the fucking sleeping world.
Oh, so we can just jump in there at any point now, I guess.
It would seem so.
Sure.
It would seem so. because he wants to go meet the Dream Eater friends. He wants to go hang out with his Pokemans, which is possibly the single most heartbreaking scene in the entire series for reasons that you wouldn't understand because Union Cross. Anyhow, it's going to be so much fun when we finally do Union Cross and I get to recontextualize just the entire series. It's going to be fantastic.
Union Cross coming in 2025.
Yeah.
When I finally drag the control of the channel back from Monty's grip once more.
Union Cross coming 2025 or whenever the fuck we finish Dream Drop Distance.
So we flash over to Castle
I
Oblivion.
want another beer, but I need to wait. Sorry, keep going.
So Sora's meeting with all the Dream Eater friends. They're coming. Don't I have a picture of this? Yeah, I do.
Aww.
Yeah, so he goes. They all jump on him. It's cute. Lots of rainbows. And we flash over to Castle Oblivion, just to remind us that Ven's having a nap there. But as Sora's meeting with the Dream Eaters, it brings a smile to Ven's face. For Union Cross reasons.
Okay.
We flash to Aqua at the end of the road in the Realm of Darkness. And she's walking. Post-credit scene!
Hey!
Woo! Lee's gone back to Radiant Gardens, and Riku has been sent on a mission. Yensid's, the true Kingdom Hearts, the real one, was lost to darkness after the Keyblade War.
Yes, we know.
Damn it, Yensid.
But if we avoid the 7 lights in the prophecy, Xehanort's just going to go get the princesses again. There's plenty of lights. So it's like, well shit, that's why we're guardians, because we have to fucking fight.
Cool.
So there's nothing they can do to avoid a Keyblade War.
So Keyblade
They're
War,
fucked.
Keyblade War 3.0 is inevitable then.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But they need 7 Keyblade wielders of light to protect the princesses.
Great.
Riku arrives and he's like, Master Yensid, I've brought the guest you wanted. And Yensid's, he's like, oh, I've come to learn that you too can wield a Keyblade as the camera flashes on Kairi!
Hey.
Hey!
About time.
Good for you.
Which I should
Doing something.
explain has birth by sleep implications. Because Kairi also got a ceremony of initiation. Or, I mean, a ceremony of...
Oh, with Aqua.
See, but the thing is, Aqua didn't officially do one. See, the thing is, you don't need that whole little speech that Terra gave. The only thing you need to do is touch a fucking Keyblade, like Kairi did when she hid behind Aqua.
All a child needs, any child touches a Keyblade.
Yeah, and they get the power.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, fine, whatever.
They get the power.
Stupid.
Now, granted, you do need to, have the strength of will to still summon it.
Of course, yeah.
You just get the ability to do it. Whether you have the inherent talent that pairs with that ability, different story. But so, Kairi's one of our Guardians of Heart. She's gonna finally do a thing!
Hooray.
Woo!
Good.
Game over!
Roll credits?
Hey.
Credits already rolled.
Hey!
Woo!
We did it! Dream Drop Distance! No answer reports?
No answer reports in this one. No answer reports in this one.
It's the best fucking game in the series.
There's
right
actually, there's no... Wait, are there in that one? No, there's no answer reports... Wait, are there?
Amazing.
No, there's no answer reports until Kingdom Hearts 3.
And we're going to stop there. We are going to continue this with part... whatever the hell we're on. Chase, what is the next game that we're covering?
We are doing Kingdom Hearts Key, Back, Cover, and Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage 2.8, Final Chapter Prologue, baby!
0.2, 2.8.
0.2, Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage, which is part of 2.8.
Get fucked. No,
Get
we're done.
fucked.
We're
Which is
done.
part of
Done. No.
2.8.
That's it.